$1,000, not the $35,000 that others charge. If you're only missing a few teeth, Dr. Bowen can permanently replace those with something you don't have to take in and out of your mouth. Learn more at simplysecuredentures.com and get the care you need and the teeth you want at Bowen Dental Care or simplysecuredentures.com.
What have we learned about Heidi?
But cockroaches were the least of her problems. Heidi had to fight for every opportunity.
You know, Heidi is, even though she's very kind of sweet and innocent.
Heidi wanted out of the slum, and her agent wasn't doing enough.
Oh my God, they moved Heidi right next to me now.
Although Heidi seems serene,
she's a bit naughty.
she uses an ancient folk remedy to help calm her down.
Heidi is back.
We did it. We made it through another work week. Happy Friday, everybody. Heidi Glaus here with Josh Gilbert and Connor McCarthy. Bob Ramsey is out with the Billikens once again. They've got a big game tonight. Remind me who they're playing?
Loyola, Chicago.
Yes. I think they only have, 3 more home games? It's amazing to me that the basketball season is,
wrapping up.
It'll be March Madness before you know it.
Arch Madness before that.
I know, which is super exciting.
Right here on the Big 550 KTS. I called Bob earlier and
Just missed him.
yeah, Bob, tell me what you're doing. I literally said, "What'd you eat today?" Because he's in Chicago, and I said, "Are you getting a Chicago dog?
Oh, that's what you wanted.
Italian-
Chicago-style pizza.
Yeah, the Italian beef, all this stuff." And he said, no, he ate at the hotel, and then he'll eat at the arena some sandwich. That was his quote. And then tomorrow morning when he flies out, he probably won't even eat anything. So I think...
So you really called him just to see what he was eating?
No, we had to talk about something.
Okay.
But I thought that traveling with the team to all these fun cities and everything, I thought it would be a dream.
It's work.
He makes it sound
You
like...
always say that, and it's like you forget. You said that
sounds
about the
great.
Olympics, too, and it's like, it's a lot of work.
Well, now you haven't reported at the Olympics.
I have not, no. But I did go in and anchor the morning show when Rennie Knott
Rennie would
was
go all the time.
at the Olympics. But you have to be on every single show. I liken it to similar when I would go out and cover like The Voice for different things. Now, is it exhilarating? Yes. And the Olympics is different because things are happening also in the morning and the evening. But not only are you covering it for your own station, a lot of times you're doing it for other stations. So you're just constantly on. You don't get a lot of time to rest.
I thought it'd be like a vacation.
It's not.
Not at all, apparently.
Not even close.
Well, when I do it, it will be.
Well, as it is with most things you do.
Yeah, Josh, you've been there 9 days and you haven't filed a single report.
You would not be going back and probably wouldn't have a desk when you
I
got
got
back
home.
to the station.
Yeah,
Let me
not.
tell you what we have coming up on this show, because I don't want you to feel like we're on vacation. We've got a lot to cover. We're going to talk to Just Moms STL. They've been on the show a couple of times, Don Chapman and Karen Nickel. And Cades Cove houses are being torn down. It actually started on Monday. But why these particular houses? I think there are 6 of them that are going to be torn down. So we'll find out why they're being torn down, what's happening next, and is this the only neighborhood where this is happening? So many questions. Are the homeowners reimbursed?
What are they reimbursed?
Yes.
Is it regular property values?
Will someone be able to rebuild on this land?
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, we're
Yeah.
going to ask Don and Karen all those questions.
Karen was there consoling some of the homeowners because
Yeah.
they stand obviously they got their money. They had moved out, but they went back to watch these things get torn down.
Yeah.
And all the news stations said it was on a meander of Coldwater Creek.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at the map. I mean, I'm from up there. I know these neighborhoods. I looked at the map, and I can't help but say, well, what's the difference between this part
Right.
and that on these houses over here and those houses over there?
I also read that this is the first time this kind of demolition has been done in the country. So anyway, we'll talk to them at 3:30. We'll also check in with Royal Oaks, ABC News legal analyst. We'll find out what's going on with the Pentagon and Mark Kelly, get the latest on that story. In the 4 o'clock, Mike Ward will join us, and we are going to set our wine glass aside because we're talking bourbon, and we're talking one of my favorites, Jefferson's. And they have a brand new product, I believe, that Mike Ward is going to tell us all about. Oh. So looking forward to that. We'll also check in with Don Mahalik, of course, ABC News law enforcement contributor. We'll get the latest on Nancy Guthrie. And in the wake of Nancy Guthrie's disappearance and so much conversation about that Nest camera video, we wanted to bring in Mike Hackett with Hackett Security because I think it's going two ways. A lot of people are like, you know what, I think I need a camera at my house. And then you have other people saying, wait, these cameras are recording all the time. And is this Big Brother? I don't know about this. I want to disable my Ring camera. So we'll talk to Mike and kind of find out really how these systems work and what we need to know about it. So that's coming up in the 5 o'clock. You know, tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Maybe you don't have a significant other. A pet is a pretty good option. They bring a lot of joy, but there's some health benefits to having a pet. I mean, it really does help with loneliness. But February, you might not realize this, is Responsible Pet Owner Month. So there's a couple of reminders. Like, I always want to know, if you're getting a dog or a puppy, should you have it trained, like with somebody that really knows what they're doing? Or is it okay? Like, can most people teach a dog to, go outside to go potty? Mm-hmm. Or other things that maybe we need to know before we get a pet. So we'll talk about that with Steve Kaufman. He has been working in and around shelters and animal care for more than 30 years. So we'll talk to him coming up. We'll also check in with Matt Siebeck, the Chief Experience Officer with St. Louis City. I don't know if you have seen the new kits have dropped, the new jerseys. I like them because they're a homage to the one, the only, the best, Tina Turner.
Incomparable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the fence. I want to see him on the field before I...
Well, regardless if you like them or not, this is historic because it's the first time a female musical sensation has been on a jersey. So this is a collaboration with Adidas, so that's cool. But that's not all. I mean, there's all kinds of things going on, and it includes a concert Sunday night, which I've got to, maybe I'll do it in the commercial break, get tickets to. It's at PAL, the newly renovated, with the symphony.
Which everyone needs to go and see, the newly renovated PAL Symphony Hall. Like
a Tina Turner celebration. So Kennedy Holmes, she was on The Voice and also has starred in several shows at the Muni, even when she was a child, all the way up now. A beautiful voice. She's going to be doing some Tina songs. And then they just added Brittany Howard from Alabama Shakes. And if you don't know her, maybe we'll play a little Brittany Howard. And she can wail. So she's going to be there. So I got to get tickets for that. But we'll tell you what else is planned around this whole kind of Tina Turner unveiling. Then we got some entertainment news, and we'll wrap this show up with some randoms.
Really quickly, my buddy just sent me a text and said, have you heard Brittany Howard from Alabama Shakes, who will be in town on Sunday night doing Tina Turner songs? He said, have you heard this cover of We Gotta Get Out of This Place by The Animals? And I said, I have not. And he said, it It really hits.
Really?
So we should probably play that later.
Okay.
We'll play all Tina and Brittany Howard stuff.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, so lock that in, Connor. And you're talking about animals. Connor, our dear friend Connor over here, is running the board because Bob is out in Chicago for the Billiken game. And he has recently, lives alone, but recently has gotten 2 cats.
Oh, 2. I thought it was just 1.
2 rescue cats. And Connor,
It's been 1 year.
1 year.
Recently.
Very recently.
Very recently.
That's the other day. What did Josh was saying? Remember when we had that guest on? I think it was like last week. I'm like, that was November.
Oh.
The funniest of this was Josh was when he was trying to tell me about a movie. He's like, didn't a movie like that just come out?
Just came
and
out.
we
Right.
dug into it, and it came out in 2001.
Right. Hey,
It just came out. It just came out, Heidi.
Guys, I'm not the only one who does this. Okay?
we were trying to start a new segment, but if it's news to Josh.
News to me.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
We could use that in the intro. What?
Exactly.
But Connor, you heard Heidi talk. By the way, what are the cats' names?
Goose and Winston.
And these cats came with their names, or did you pick those?
I mean, they kind of loosely. I don't know if they even know their names.
Okay.
Frankly,
Well,
the
they're cats. They're cats.
Yeah.
But Heidi's point of cats help with loneliness, and cats are great for your health, and or pets just in general. Have you noticed an increase in your serotonin levels or your overall happiness factor having pets in the house? Whoa!
No. I wasn't lonely before.
No, I know, but
like I also don't think. I don't know. They cause more problems for me. I feel.
Oh,
geez.
wow.
They learned how to get into the cabinets
What an
recently.
endorsement.
Okay.
But they're cats.
I know.
That's what
Listen,
they
you
do.
sign up for it.
You don't come
They're
home
cute.
and throw your hat down and say, "Honey, I'm home."
They're cute,
And
but
they run
you
to
know
the door.
they do cause. You gotta be aware when you go into it. That's all I'll say.
Well, I mean, you can get
And
rid
then
of
you know
them.
what? That's what we're going to talk about. The things to know before you get into that. I will tell you, not new to the pet game now, but I would say I didn't have a pet growing up. My dad had bird dogs, but they were not played with.
And you said they lived outside and they never came in the house.
Oh God, no.
Did they have names?
Oh yeah, Blue was the first one. They've all had B names. Now it's Banner and Bella.
Do the ones now live outside?
Mm-hmm. But they're living
I thought they live in St. Louis. How do you have dogs that live
outside.
at all times?
Is there
It's-
a kennel?
Yes, it's
Okay.
heated. It is. They are very well taken care of.
All right, I have a question. The classic doghouse with the box with the pointed
Right.
roof and the and the rover on top. Does that exist? Has that ever been a thing?
thing?
Yeah.
That's not what this looks like. This one, like the kennel, you can literally walk into
Yes.
without bending down. Like it's
Oh my goodness.
that big, and
Out
then
in
they're
Baldwin they have this.
yeah. So anyway, my point is, when we got Georgie, at first I was reluctant and not exactly happy about it because it was not my idea.
Your
and
wife bought a dog at
an auction.
at a trivia night.
when I was not a trivia night, but it was a. I was
it was an
on.
auction.
I was on stage,
You were
and
emceeing the event.
at the time, it was not known that we were together. I was not out on television.
Okay.
And so she
So Marsha's 3 glasses of Sauvignon Blanc in.
and starts bidding on this dog, and I couldn't ignore her because, you know.
Oh, Heidi's roommate just bought a dog.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we went home, and I would say didn't talk too terribly much on that ride.
Whoa.
It wasn't kind.
Was
at
the dog
least.
with you?
No, we had to then go pick up Georgie the next day.
Was she in attendance? I mean, how do you auction off a dog and not have the dog
yes,
sitting
she was in
there?
attendance.
Okay. All right.
Of course,
But they
and then
don't
it
let you-
became a battle. No, they're
That
not.
was a bid. Bidding war.
Oh, bidding war. Yes, all
Well,
for a good
here,
cause. Angels'
here.
Arms.
How about we do this? We cut the dog in half.
Hey, I have done events where we say, as a matter of fact, we have 2.
We have a second dog.
Yeah. So
but
anyway.
what if you pull the second dog out and they're mangy? And they got a big tooth.
I will say she was awfully cute.
Okay.
It's changed my life.
Okay, for the better.
For the better. I mean,
That's because she doesn't know how to get into the cabinets. That's why you didn't like the cats.
It's because she's
the
not
cats
a cat.
never got in the cabinets. They
Okay.
were on the
They
counters.
were on the counters.
Yes,
I bet
plenty.
you didn't. I bet you didn't care for that.
On the counters?
Yeah.
No, but the
Knowing
cats
how-
lived there before I did, so
knowing
I
how
didn't
you
have
like clean things.
we went through so much fantastic
Heidi
and
moved
wiping.
Heidi moved into the cat's house.
I
Yeah,
did.
that's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I knew who was running things.
Know your place.
I did, but I did not understand how much joy dogs could bring until I can hear as soon as I turn that door, I hear her running down the hallway.
Oh, really?
to
Oh, that's cute.
Come to me, and I have to put everything down, and I have to pick her up. I mean, it's our routine, and if they're just so smart too.
I need to train Finn to bring my slippers.
Oh, why don't you?
when he
That'd
runs
be great.
up to the door, because he does that too, but he doesn't bring me anything.
Bring your slippers.
Yeah, and my pipe, son.
That'd be really great
Yeah.
if you could. I mean, he could probably comprehend that these days.
He learns quickly.
Yeah,
He's
so
a quick learner.
maybe you should. Mm-hmm. It's fun. Again, they're so smart. I don't think that I have told you this, but Marcia was packing, and of course we're opposites on this. I wait until the night before, and she starts packing probably 3 days prior.
I mean, I might wait until the morning of.
Yeah, well, I hate packing.
I do too.
But Georgie has like 3 places she typically is in the house. She's either in our bed taking a nap.
Mm-hmm.
She's got her little spot. In this place downstairs where there's like a sunlight beam that comes through, so she lies right in that
Sunbeam.
hot spot. Or she is under Marcia's desk. And so I was about to leave for work, and I'm looking for her to, of course, say goodbye. I'm like, where is she? And she was in a spare bedroom where all of Marcia's outfits were laid out, lying on top of all of them, because she knows. And we purposely don't get out the suitcases if we're going somewhere because, it makes her anxious. But she went in there.
Where does she stay when you guys go places?
Well, it's one of the reasons we take the RV quite a bit,
Oh, she
because
goes
she
with
goes
you. Yeah.
with. If not, if we are
When you guys go to
taking
Italy,
yes, when we go eventually,
or I guess when you go to
Iceland. Marcia's sister.
Not your sister.
No, my sister's not a big dog person.
Oh.
And they're so busy. They're never at home. So Marcia's sister is retired, has 2 other dogs, so that's good. Or sometimes friends. Kelly Jackson has kept her. Jennifer Blum has kept her. So it just kind of depends. She's got like
Got a
4
few spots.
4 places where she feels comfortable.
Bips and Bops.
Yes.
What's Kelly's dog's name?
Birdie.
Birdie.
Mm-hmm. Birdie's cute. They're cute and playful.
Did she have a different dog before?
Yeah. LaRue.
LaRue.
Lala.
Oh, she is LaRue.
Las-
dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a tough
Hey,
one.
it happens.
It does. It does. So, you guys, enough about dogs for now. We've got a lot going on today, and we're going to jump right in here in about 2 minutes. And I hope you'll hang out with us on this Friday afternoon. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show, minus Bob, but with Josh Gilbert and Connor on the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis. 328. Let's get a check of traffic with Captain Paul.
Heidi, an accident on 70 West at Bermuda is blocking the 2 left lanes with traffic jam back to Berkshire. Emergency vehicles responding to that crash are blocking the 2 left lanes of 70 East past Florissant Road. That's causing a stop-and-go jam back to 170. 64 East is congested from Mason to 270, and 64 West is busy in front of Forest Park. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. When winter hits St. Louis, your furnace doesn't get a day off. And if yours is older, it may be running nonstop and still not keeping you comfortable. Winter has a way of exposing weak links. You're probably paying more and getting less. Or if your home never quite feels warm enough in the winter, your furnace may be telling you something else, especially if it's been around for a while. That's why I want you to call Premier Heating and Cooling. Their technicians go through 5 years of training beyond industry standards. It's Premier standards. Heating your home shouldn't feel like a struggle. Older furnaces work harder and use more energy. If you want lower energy bills and better heat, it's just all around smarter to consider a new furnace. And yes, Premier offers financing, which makes upgrading a whole lot easier. So whether you need a tune-up or you're ready for something new, make your winter a lot more comfortable for your home or your business. Call 636-916-1122, premierheatingcooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
For all of your travel needs, you go to the best travel agency in the world. Granted, I'm a little biased. Altair Travel and Cruises. They'll take you wherever you want to go in style. They'll handle all the details. You handle all the fun. Don't go to the Googles. Don't make that mistake. It all starts at Altair Travel and Cruises on Brentwood Boulevard, 314-968-9600. Anywhere you want to go, let Altair Travel take you. AltairTravel.com.
Mom, what do you always say? There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer. That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newstetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry in Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
Get your season tickets now for the 2026 Stages St. Louis. The 2026 season is kicked off with the always hilarious 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Then take a trip back to the 40s and 50s with Guys and Dolls. Stages will wrap up this year with the incredible true story of Come From Away. Call today to reserve your groups, individual or season tickets. 314-821-2407. Or visit them online at stagesstlewis.org. That's stagesstlewis.org.
The boats are back at Missouri's premier boat and fishing show.
February 20th through 22nd at America Center.
Take advantage of screaming deals on hundreds of boats.
Check out wake surf and pontoon boats,
fishing boats and luxury cruisers,
personal watercraft, and more.
Enjoy non-stop entertainment.
Live stingrays, pro angler demos.
Get ready for fun in the sun
at the St. Louis Boat and Fishing Show.
February 20th through 22nd at America Center.
Go to stlouisboatshows.com for info. Kids are free.
I'm Mark Cantor. Here's why you can count on Cantor Injury Law.
My name is Michelle. I'm a litigation paralegal at Cantor Injury Law, and you can count on Cantor because we are smart, honest, and hardworking.
I'm Kevin Glenn, and a partner here at Cantor Injury Law. You can count on Cantor because we make your cause our cause.
No fee if no recovery. Please visit cantorinjurylaw.com or call us at 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deal.
Thanks, Farmer Dave. I'm combating wintertime blues by purchasing cool cars and motorcycles. Do you have a unique, low-mile, or super clean car you'd like to sell? Call me. I'm looking for Corvettes, Mustangs, Camaros, Harleys, Ducatis, Porsches, or anything super low-mile and super clean. Even everyday cars if they're exceptionally nice and well cared for. I'll come to you if you're in the St. Louis area, especially if you have more than one vehicle to sell. It's okay if you have a loan on it. We'll make the payoff. We make it easy. Hop on our site and submit your vehicle. We'll take it from there.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, Monday morning, the first home was officially demolished in the Cades Cove neighborhood in North St. Louis County. Don Chapman and Karen Nickel, founders of Just Moms STL, are back to explain why and what's next. It is so great to have you guys back with us and kind of be boots on the ground for us.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Yeah.
So 6 homes are being torn down. What is it about these houses?
So these houses were built in the 1990s, and they were built on top of contamination. So whereas you have a lot of backyards and a lot of properties, over 100 in all along Coldwater Creek that have contamination because the creek flooded and brought it up out of the creek onto the property. These were actually built on top of an area that used to be the creek.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, they were built on top of the Manhattan Project in 1990 after they already knew that this had spread wherever it had flooded.
So all the news stories said that it was on a meander of the Coldwater Creek. Rivers change, creeks change. So the creek moved, and they built these houses right on top of where the creek was, right on top where the contamination was.
That's correct.
Wow.
So what about the other houses that are, nearby?
Right across the street. I mean, it's just heartbreaking. And, we were standing there as they were getting ready to demo these homes, and you're looking at these beautiful homes across the street, and we know they've gone across and tested. We're not sure what they found. They have told us they haven't found anything that needs to be cleaned up, but that doesn't mean they didn't find it. Because remember, they can find it, but it has to be at a certain level before they clean it. So, and if it doesn't meet that level, then these people are stuck technically with the Manhattan Project on their lawn forever.
Yeah. Oh, it is just an awful story. So they're tearing these down and then removing all of the radiation? Is that the plan?
So they demolished the house with just a regular demolition company. And then the Army Corps of Engineers will go in and actually remove the foundations and get underneath there and get the radioactive materials out that way.
What's going to happen to this property a year from now?
So that's wild. It gets given back to the homeowners to do what with?
Could they build on it if they wanted to?
So they can. If they feel comfortable, they can go back and rebuild a home there. However, these homeowners have already either built a home or moved into an existing home.
Have they been reimbursed?
So there were reimbursements, and they were bought out for their home structure. However, we aren't privy to that information. But do you feel safe to go back? I don't know.
And you don't want to just leave it as an open lot because when it's remediated, is it safe to go there? Because you don't want kids are going to play there thinking it's a park.
There's that's a great question. Is it going to be safe after they remove it? And that's one we intend to ask the Army Corps. But the other thing is there's forever a stigma, right, attached to that land. Do you want to build a home and live in a new home on top of where the Manhattan Project was?
There's so much to kind of take in when the people whose homes were demolished, have they been ill?
So we did talk to one of the homeowners, and her husband did have cancer. But what if you're house 0 or house 7? Of those 6 that were torn down. We have talked to other homeowners that were previous homeowners that lived in those homes that have been sick. Yes.
Wow. So are there other places where homes will now be torn down?
So we do know that there's a cleanup going on in Hazelwood on Fox Tree Lane. But the Cades Cove's homes are the only ones we're aware of right now. There are over, like Dawn said, there's 100 more properties, to be determined. We don't know.
So you guys worked in Washington to get the act passed, and it was, what's the act called?
The Radiation Exposure Compensation Act, RECA.
RECA. And if you lived in this area, if you lived in this zip code, and you've gotten sick, you can either get your medical bills paid, or you can take a one lump sum payment. So
That's correct.
You have worked with Washington, and they have responded. Do you think they're doing enough now?
So,
are they looking for other houses, or are they just saying, all right, we'll tear these 6 down and then we'll leave?
So I think that we would like to see them expedite the testing. So they need to just find it all, first of all, because they haven't. That's the biggest thing, because who knows? But then once they find it, we really want this cleaned up in the next 5 to 10 years. We want to be able to say all exposures are stopped.
I never even thought about the fact of the creek rising and then it spilling out over even more of the land. I mean, it could be everywhere.
Yeah.
And it leaked for so long. So we know it leaked in 1949, but we have another document in the middle of the 80s where they're testing how many tons of radioactive contamination are leaking from a site into the creek. So as North County's being built and as these properties are going up all along this creek, the government's measuring how many tons per year are leaking into the creek still.
So they know that.
They do. That's the thing that's so infuriating. That's why we have RECA, because there was every possibility to get this out before there were homes or anything built. There were multiple chances our government had, and why they didn't, that's the million-dollar question.
And I guess, I mean, we're talking about, 70, 80 years here. It's gone through different administrations. It's not like you can pin this on one party.
No, you can't.
You cannot. And to your point about RECA, we've got it technically until 2028, and then it has to be reauthorized. But I got to tell you, I don't know if we're going to be able to reauthorize it. I can't. We're watching right now them not a shutdown about happening. So I don't know that we can keep this program.
How many other areas, not just here in St. Louis, was this happening all over the country?
So the Army Corps of Engineers FUSRAP program, they do have other areas across the nation. However, St. Louis is unique. We have the most tonnage of radioactive material, and we have the most acreage of contamination.
Remind me why we were doing it here?
Because of the proximity on the Mississippi River, and just it was easier to send it down by barge and to keep it secret.
We have a texter. A big thanks to these ladies for the hard work and seeing this RECA to fruition. Just applied for RECA. I was diagnosed with leukemia in 2020. Lived in the area for 40 years. Again, thank you, ladies. Somebody else wants to know, what are they doing with the contamination? Where does it go?
So this is a question we get a lot, and we're working on putting up more details, but it's going to a place in Idaho right now where it's been going for 20 years. It's a licensed facility. It's low level, so this is not going to mushroom cloud and explode.
Got it.
And it's being stored there, and the Department of Energy watches it. So it's not being stored how it was here. It's being watched. However, people are curious, so we're getting ready to put together kind of what that looks like once it gets there.
Got it.
And it's dirt. Is what else is there? It's just dirt, right? At this point,
with a lot of uranium, thorium, and a lot of stuff in it,
which you can't see. You and I can't see that stuff. But when they, so is it big trucks? How do they get it out of here?
So they're putting it on rail cars, and they're sealing the rail cars, and then they're picking them up and they're storing them.
Yeah.
Yep,
like a
that.
pod or something.
That's right. That's how it's being stored. But to your point, you can't see it. I mean, think if this were like an oil spill, if you could walk up to Coldwater Creek and see like black tar
oil
balls
everywhere. Yeah,
this would have been cleaned up a long time ago.
Yep. All right, I'm looking at the map again. I got Coldwater Creek was 11 miles long?
14 miles.
And the whole thing is built up. There's a golf course, there's a Walmart, there's a Mexican restaurant, there's grocery stores. Are those safe in proximity to this thing?
I think anything in the shadow of where the creek has historically flooded is where they're testing, if that makes sense. And they're still doing a lot of testing, but safe. Well, that's a hard question because I'll tell you, one thing we've learned in the 13 years we've done that, everybody has a different idea of what safe means. Mm-hmm. But risk, sure, there is risk.
And when I live on Cades Cove or when I live adjacent to the creek, am I getting sick because I went outside and mowed the lawn? Am I getting sick because I slept in the basement where they made the foundations in the dirt?
One of the things that is a risk is ingesting or inhaling these particles. So that is one thing we're concerned about.
I dig a garden. Mm-hmm. Is that a big one?
Or if, it depends on the garden too. If you have root vegetables, right, they can, what's called uptake. They can suck it up and then you're eating it.
Oh my goodness.
Remind me how we even discovered it in the first place.
So, off and on since the 1940s, some people have known. We've got documents in chronological order, but I think that what happened was, we're saying waste, but this wasn't waste. What this was is material that was highly radioactive stored in drums next to the airport that the government wanted to store because they were trying to make another bomb out of it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. They wanted to be able to grab it real quick. But those containers, it was so radioactive, they disintegrated. And that's how it started leaking. And they wanted to put them in new containers, but it was too dangerous for the workers. So I think how all of us found out, and we're still finding out more and more details, is just because these documents were scattered across the United States. They were stored in different repositories, and so a big Freedom of Information request was grabbed, and 15,000 documents were compiled from all over that told the full story. But that didn't come out and get released until like 2020, and then COVID.
That is just hard to even wrap your brain around.
But we asked for those documents back in 2014. So they held them for 6 years.
And did you guys have lawyers that you were working with? I can't imagine just two moms from St. Louis were able to get all this done.
No, I mean, there's lots of lawyers that have poked around, and I guess you could say we're doing things parallel to them. They're off doing their own things, but no, we never worked. But everything we found, we made public. So sure, they were on our website right away.
Yeah.
Have you guys been approached for a movie? I think that there should be a movie about what you guys have done. I mean, talk about grassroots. This is it.
No, not about us.
No, and for us, we're just trying to see an end to it, but it's scary. It's pretty invasive right now for us. I mean, I was dealing with a kidney stone last week, and the medicine doctor's trying to talk about this, and I'm like, can you please just
fix me?
Been there, yeah.
Right now, yes.
Yeah.
But the HBO documentary,
Yes.
that was out there.
Yes, and I wish there would be a follow-up because so much more has come out since that movie. That was 2018 that came out. We know so much more now, and like the homes in
Yes.
Jana
Yeah.
school.
Yes.
I also read that this demolition is the first of its kind in the nation.
Nowhere ever in the nation have homes needed to be torn down because there was radioactive waste under them. This is
Lucky
a first.
St. Louis.
That's right. That's exactly how we felt on Monday. They were standing behind us, the big government, and we were consoling the homeowners. It was everything not to go over there and be like,
So
look
when
what
they're
you did.
turning over this dirt and throwing it into is everybody in mask? Is that a danger?
So what they were doing on Monday was just demoing the house.
Okay, not digging in.
No.
Okay.
But to your point, how do you feel if you're the house on the left and the house still standing on the right and the house across the street when guys and gals come in fully protected head to toe and start digging up?
So that is a concern of the residents there. We did talk to several of them, and one of the problems that they have faced with the Army Corps is there's been no outreach to them. And they're not really getting answers. And while the Army Corps will go in, and I would like to hope they do a good job with the cleanup, I'm going to remain hopeful for that. The outreach is lacking, and that's a problem because when you don't have good outreach, you don't have trust.
Yes. Well, Don Chapman, Karen Nickel, again, to the listener, thank you guys on behalf of so many people. And thank you from us here just to come in and kind of keep us in the know. We really do appreciate it.
We appreciate you guys. And if we hear anything about any more homes or something, we will
Any
let you know.
neighborhoods, anything,
Yeah.
you let us know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thank
again.
you.
And now, KTRS weather.
Increasing clouds overnight tonight will drop to 40 degrees. For Saturday, look for a widespread but beneficial rainfall to move into the area. It'll be ongoing through much of the day. The high temperature, 52 degrees. Rain will continue to be likely Saturday night as we drop to 43. The rain will end by daybreak Sunday morning. We'll start the day with mostly cloudy skies, but the sun comes out in the afternoon. Sunday's high, 58. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kristen Cornett for the Big 550 KTRS.
Are you retired? Are you thinking about retiring? Who is helping you with retirement? Might be time to check out the show When Retirement Happens, hosted by Kevin Lloyd of Legacy Wealth Advisors. Saturday at 1, Sunday at noon on the Big 550 KTRS.
It's February, and we all know what happens in February, Valentine's Day. Instead of hitting the expensive spots that limit selections and hike up prices, consider spending the evening or morning in the casual comfort of Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant. Why make Valentine's a nighttime thing? Gingham's is open 24 hours, and everything on our extensive menu is available day or night. With the weather we've had, there's nothing better than a hearty breakfast or a hot bowl of soup, a great homestyle meal, and a piece of pie to top it off. Make it Gingham's this February, and visit us at ginghamsrestaurant.com.
Hi, I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I want your fixer-upper home.
It's crazy to spend a ton of money fixing it up when I will pay you top dollar right now. I don't even care what condition it's in. Your trash is my treasure. No inspections, no contingencies, just cold, hard cash. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867. That's Mike Robinson, 314-283-0867, or at robangproperties.com.
We sell siding, windows, doors, and decking by the truckload. My name is Julius Krasanik, celebrating 53 years in this business. Our company is Wholesale Siding Depot, and our seasoned customer service group has over 200 years of combined siding, window, door, and decking knowledge. My grandson Elijah says,
"Are you kidding me?"
The brands that we sell are durable, maintenance-free, and energy-saving. Featuring Anderson, CertainTeed, Viwinco, Provia, Masonite, TimberTech, and others, offering the best selection of styles and colors available in this industry. And better yet, our prices are wholesale every day. Last, our Peace of Mind initiative also includes a free contractor referral service to take care of your installation concerns or needs. You are just one click away from keeping it local, family, and professional. Please visit WSDepot.com. That's WSDepot.com.
Scott, can you believe it's already been more than a decade since the Queen of Carpet sold flooring to St. Louis area contractors?
I know, but I don't have to be a king to offer contractors today's lowest prices.
Yes, contractors owe it to their customers and themselves to shop at Best Buy Flooring for the largest in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile.
Plus 3 convenient locations, North County, South County, and Metro East.
Open 7 days a week.
Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy. Best Buy Flooring.
9 minutes before 4 o'clock on this Friday afternoon. Hopefully a lot of people getting out of the office early, starting a 3-day weekend. What does traffic look like?
Well, it's kind of rough out there, Heidi. The latest is a crash on 64 East at 270, blocking the 2 right lanes with a stop and go back up to Mason. An accident on 70 West at Bermuda is blocking the 2 left lanes with traffic jammed back to Berkshire. Emergency vehicles responding to that crash are blocking the 2 left lanes of 70 East past Florissant Road. That's causing a stop-and-go jam back to 170. 64 West is busy in front of Forest Park, and there's a stalled vehicle on 44 East at Jameson in the left lane. This traffic report is brought to you by the Opera Theater of St. Louis. Get your season tickets now to the Opera Theater of St. Louis. Enjoy the productions of Romeo and Juliet, A Streetcar Named Desire, and others. Visit them online at opera-stl.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
We now have a ruling in that case that accused Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth of trying to strip the First Amendment rights of military retirees. Royal Oaks, ABC News legal analyst, joins us with the decision. Hi, Royal.
A big setback for Pete Hegseth and the Department of War. The judge essentially said that Hegseth was retaliating against Kelly for using his First Amendment rights, trampling on the senator's free speech rights. And essentially, what the court is saying is, look, it's okay for a senator to say to soldiers everywhere, don't be following illegal orders. Hegseth saw it very differently. Often the courts support extreme military discipline because that's really crucial to carrying out their mission. But this is a loss at this trial court stage anyway for Pete Hegseth. He's free to go to the Court of Appeals, and he's telling us that's probably what he's going to do.
So I have seen a couple of Donald Trump in his private life was very litigious, and I have seen some very high-profile cases just kind of go poof because there was lack of standing or whatever. Is there a limit to how many court cases or trials or charges you can bring against somebody before the courts say, all right, come back next year. You've done enough.
Well, yes and no. When you're talking about people like the Secretary of Defense and a U.S. Senator, essentially there's no limit. If you're a crazy person and you like to file, 3 or 4 wacky, frivolous lawsuits a week, and you do because you got the money in your jeans to pay the filing fee, eventually the court decrees you are a vexatious litigant and says you may no longer file any suits, or you have to jump through a bunch of really tough hoops. But when it comes to the big guys with the high-profile disputes, as you say, the president is known as being litigious. I think in his business career, he was able to go to court early and often, and it probably was a good business model for him. And to an extent, he's pursuing that course as president as well.
Yeah. You mentioned that the Pete Hegseth said he'll probably appeal. Does he have a case here?
Well, it's tough. On the one hand, yes, the Supreme Court and lower courts have emphasized the importance of military discipline, and they give extra deference to the military. On the other hand, there's a limit. And where he didn't come out and say anything other than, I certainly want all of our military folks around the world to only follow lawful orders, is that really undermining military discipline? I mean, going back to Vietnam with the My Lai massacre and so on, nobody really supports doing what your sergeant says absolutely every time if what the sergeant says is plainly a violation of law. So I think it's going to be an uphill battle for Pete Hegseth to turn things around. The Court of Appeals, frankly, most of the judges on that panel in Washington, D.C. were appointed by Democrat presidents. It's probably unlikely he'll get a very favorable hearing. Then if he goes to the U.S. Supreme Court, we've seen many times a Supreme Court with 3 Trump appointees and either 5 or 6 members conservative. They just say, sorry, Mr. President, we can't help you in this particular case. So it wouldn't be unusual for the Supreme Court to reject Pete Hegseth's position.
What was Mark Kelly's status with the Army or with the military, that he was still subjected to this? Do you get to a certain point post your military career where they can't censor you anymore?
Well, you're raising a good point. He's a retired Navy captain and, of course, famously an astronaut. The fact that he's no longer on active duty strengthens his case. If he were actually, a member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, telling people, well, I better think twice about following illegal orders, or then that would be different. I think it's much more freedom for somebody like Senator Mark Kelly, who is in the United States Senate and has the speech or debate clause protecting lawmakers, other constitutional protections. So he's in a pretty strong position.
Got it. Royal, we always appreciate you kind of sorting through tough cases like this. So thank you so much.
You bet. Have a great weekend.
All right. I know it'd be a slightly better weekend if I was on a beach somewhere. But you know what? All it takes is a phone call over at Altair Travel, and you're planning that next vacation. Maybe you're not the beach person. Maybe you want to go somewhere, more adventurous. Altair Travel has so many different options. I mean, the world is truly yours when you work with Altair Travel and Cruises. And it's one of those things that I learned several years back when I booked that first trip, because I didn't know how many different places were out there that I wanted to go to until I started working with Altair Travel. I mean, a safari. Pat Blassie always said that was her absolute favorite trip. So many people love an Alaskan cruise and have gone more than once because there's so much to see. So wherever it is you want to go, let Altair Travel and Cruises help with that, because they can help you find the best, cheapest flight. They can help you with the hotel. They can help you with all of those excursions, and they can find you packages so that you're actually saving money when you work with Altair. So altairtravel.com is the website. 314-968-9600 is the phone number.
My name is Dan Head, and I'm the new owner of Patriot Build Sunrooms. We are still a family company with a name trusted by St. Louis for sunrooms for over 40 years. We will continue to proudly serve our loyal customers with beautiful sunrooms, as well as expanded offerings like outdoor fireplaces, outdoor grilling centers, and patio covers. And Patriot Build Sunrooms is proud to support the Backstoppers on KTRS. Give us a call for a free design consultation at 314-822-3232 or online at patriotbuildsstl.com.
At Tropical World Pets, you're not just getting a pet, you're diving into an extraordinary experience. Located in Webster Groves, they boast St. Louis's largest selection of freshwater fish and aquatic plants, a stunning tank showroom, and the Midwest's most extensive tarantula collection. From crested geckos to bearded dragons, they offer the area's best captive-bred reptiles. Visit them and feel the tropical difference. Tropical World Pets. Explore more by calling 314-849-4020 or at twpstl.com. That's twpstl.com.
Basement with a Y. That's Basement E.
It's Basement T.
Basement E?
It's Basement T.
Oh, Basement T. Basement T. I get it. That's the basement waterproofing and foundation repair experts at Woods Basement Systems.
Right. The All Things Basement Tea experts at Woods Basement Systems will provide you a free estimate and dry up that wet basement and fix that cracked foundation. Call 800-388-9326 or go online to woodsbasementsystems.com.
That's woodsbasementsystems.com.
When you go and get your car washed, do you really care which car wash you go to? Yes, because not all car washes are created equal. Country Club Car Wash is the local family-owned and family-operated car wash since 1989. All these other ones that are popping up, they're all run by out-of-town hedge funds. Keep it local, keep it great. Touchless car washes, no brushes, inside and out. 5 area locations, Country Club Car Wash, or cccwstl.com.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. With just a few hours to go before funding runs out at the Department of Homeland Security, Democrats are standing by their demand to end the use of masks and administrative warrants by immigration enforcement officers. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has the latest from Washington.
Congress left town a day before the funding deadline, a demonstration of the lack of urgency as DHS prepares to shut down. Most agency staffers are deemed essential and would report for work even if they aren't being paid. Top House Democrat Hakeem Jeffries says there won't be a bipartisan agreement to fund the department unless Republicans agree to dramatic reforms at ICE.
We've drawn a hard line in the sand on behalf of the American people, and we're not going to allow the Congress to cross it.
Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Several not guilty pleas in Minneapolis today. Former CNN host Don Lemon pled not guilty on federal civil rights charges, as did civil rights attorney and prominent local activist Nikema Levy Armstrong.
Today, we have the federal government trying to weaponize the Department of Justice in order to silence us, in order to prevent us from speaking the truth. That ain't right. No, that ain't right.
Her and Lemon were arrested last month at a protest in the city, which spilled into a local church where an ICE official is a pastor. The USS Gerald Ford will be sent to the Middle East in the coming days, making it the second American aircraft carrier to be deployed to the region. It comes as negotiations over Iran's nuclear program continue. President Trump had this to say about the military buildup.
They give us the deal that they should have given us the first time. If they give us the right deal, we won't do that. But, you know, historically, they haven't done that. I will say they want to talk, but so far they do a lot of talking and no action.
The Consumer Price Index came in better than expected at 2.4% today, above the Fed's 2% target rate.
We'll admit, we've already thrown in the towel on the New Year's resolution.
Yeah, and we made it through dry January. But one healthy new habit we're sticking with is Active Liver from New Nordic. Did you know your liver works around the clock processing food, sugar, alcohol, and everyday toxins? All things that can really impact your health.
That's why daily support matters. Active Liver is designed to help protect normal liver function and support your body's natural detox process.
With trusted ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and artichoke extract, it's gentle enough to take all year long.
No harsh cleanses, no extreme detoxes, just simple daily liver support. We really feel the difference.
Yup, more energy and the peace of mind knowing we can enjoy the good things in life while giving our liver the love it needs.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
This is KTRS News. I'm Sobe Bay. A Madison County man has been found guilty in the murder of his infant son. A jury handed down that verdict to 41-year-old Dustin Shires of Highland in the death of 3-year-old Jamison Shires. The baby boy died back in March of 2023. The medical examiner determined Jamison's cause of death was shaken baby syndrome. Shires faces up to 65 years in prison when he's sentenced. A proposed bill that would strengthen protections for children against grooming and trafficking is one step closer to becoming law in Missouri. The Missouri House approved a measure that would allow survivors of child sex trafficking to file lawsuits up to 20 years after turning 21. It would also increase criminal penalties for child trafficking and for purchasing sex from minors. St. Louis Public Schools is moving forward with a plan to demolish several school buildings in North St. Louis. The Board of Education board voted in favor for a request to tear down 6 properties that have been vacant for years. The district says the buildings have deteriorated, leading to safety concerns. St. Louis Mardi Gras celebrations continue through February 17th next week, Fat Tuesday, but as KTRS's Steve Potter reports, this weekend features the biggest event, Saturday's Grand Parade.
The Grand Parade kicks off at 11 a.m. downtown, then travels through Soulard. Safety is a top concern for law enforcement, and in a video posted on X, District 3 Captain Angela Dickerson stresses that safety is a top priority.
Both uniform and plainclothes officers will be on the streets making sure you have an enjoyable celebration. Always remember, if you see something, say something. Please report any suspicious activity by calling 911 or telling a police officer. Please do not drink and drive or you will go to jail. Our Traffic Safety Division and Missouri Highway Patrol will be in full force.
After the parade, there's an after-party at Ballpark Village. It's also recommended that those attending the parade use ride shares and public transportation because parking during Mardi Gras can be problematic. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll Florist wants to help you show your loved one you care this Valentine's Day with hand-delivered flowers. Send a sweet surprise with one of their head-turning arrangements or gift sets. They have wonderful selections ready to say, I love you this Valentine's Day and every day. Trust Walter Knoll Florist to deliver your Valentine's Day gift. Go to WKF.com. Missouri regulators have given the okay for a new Ameren gas plant and battery site in Jefferson County. KTRS's Jill Enders has the story.
The Missouri Public Service Commission approved a plan to build a new natural gas plant and battery storage facility in Jefferson County on the site of the retired Rush Island coal plant. It allows for the construction of a simple cycle combustion turbine generator and battery energy storage system, together to form the Big Hollow Energy Center. Now the plant is expected to begin serving customers in 2028. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
And this look at the markets now brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings 9 to 11. Dow Jones up 49 points today to finish at 49,500. NASDAQ dropped 50 points to close at 22,546. And the S&P 500 up 3 points to close at 6,836. Now let's check sports and traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky.
Avoid a 3-game losing skid when they take on Indiana Sunday. The Illini is coming off back-to-back overtime losses following a 12-game winning streak. And number 18 SLU basketball plays at Loyola Chicago tonight. The Billikens will try to extend the nation's second-longest winning streak to 18 games. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. An accident on 70 West at Bermuda that happened at 1:20 is blocking the 2 left lanes with traffic jammed back to Berkshire. Estimated clearance time is 4:25. Emergency vehicles responding to that crash are blocking the 2 left lanes of 70 East past Florissant Road. That's causing a stop-and-go jam back to Natural Bridge. And traffic is heavy coming in from Illinois to the Poplar Street Bridge. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550. KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. KTRS weather. Tonight, cloudy, overnight low of 40. Tomorrow, rain likely, high of 52. Sunday, partly cloudy, high of 59. And then a warm-up moves in. Next week may feel like spring. High Monday of 65. Tuesday, 66. Wednesday's high, 72. Right now, we have 62 degrees. The time is 4:08. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
File your taxes for free with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. Just file on your own in the Credit Karma app by February 28th. Valid for those who didn't file with TurboTax last year.
Repairing chimneys, walkways, porches, foundations, entire homes, anything to do with brick or stone, you need a tuck pointer you can trust, and that, of course, is Morelli. Morelli is a family-run business started in 1991, and they're only as good as their last customer. That's why when you check out the reviews online at MorelliTuckPointing.com, you'll notice that they're actual customers who are singing the praises of Morelli. So if you need a tuck pointer, you need Morelli. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our headlines for this Friday afternoon, February 13th. Maddie shifts to summer, moves stages indoors for 2026. The fest, previously known as Music at the Intersection, is making a big move this year, not from its longtime home in Grand Center, but rather from the busy month of September when it's been since it first started back in 2021. This year's event will take place over the weekend of July 17th through the 19th, shifting to the summer offers additional advantages for Maddie outside of the smaller amount of competition on the calendar. That's according to Hanson St. Louis, who runs the whole festival. St. Louis sees a flood of college students return to their hometown for one, who may find themselves thirsty for all the homegrown music festival has to offer. There's also the usual influx of leisure and cultural tourism that the summer brings, making it just another pool for potential attendees. And there are some practical upsides around booking international touring artists who are often already on the road during the summer, recognizing that July is going to be probably quite a bit warmer than September. Organizers have opted to move the musical acts indoors and make use of the many stages that already exist in Grand Center. So you've got the Sovereign, which is fairly new, the Big Top, Jazz St. Louis, Sophie's Artist Lounge, and for the first time, the Fox Theater. The block party portion of the event will start each night at 5, and that will be on Washington Avenue, so it'll be closed off to traffic. And then that will feature live music, including national DJs, performance art stage, roller skating rink, carnival rides, pop-up fashion shows, murals, art exhibits. I mean, there's so much going on. All of that part on the closed street, that's free. You just need the ticket for all of the shows. The lineup for the festival will be rolled out in the upcoming weeks, but you can do a blind purchase starting today for $99. So you won't know who's coming, but you can save a little money.
That sounds like fun. It's not just the music. Everything.
No, all of it. You know what? I'm going this year because in years past, because September is so busy, we always had something else going on.
I asked George Mahey, St. Louis Magazine, once. I said, "Why is September always so full?"
Because it's cool.
He said it's the best month in St. Louis.
No question.
Weather-wise.
Question.
75 in the afternoon, 70 at night.
Yeah. It doesn't get any better.
Not a lot of rain. All right.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. There's going to be rain this weekend. Connor, did you say you're going down to Mardi Gras or not?
I said I'm probably not.
Okay.
Partially because of the rain.
Oh, the rain scared him away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't want to be down there in the rain.
There's going to be plenty of people that won't even realize it's raining.
That is true.
I didn't realize how old I was until Bob Ramsey got the award down at the MAC, St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame.
Right.
Was it last Wednesday? I didn't realize how old I was until I was about to drive down. And then I was thinking, well, where am I going to park? Oh. They're parking on site. Am I going to have to find something else? You know what? Maybe I'd just skip it.
Yep, you've hit a certain age.
But and my parents were talking about going to the Eagles at Enterprise Center. And they were like, but where are we going to park? I'm like, what do you mean where you going to? Who cares where you're going to park? You're going to go see the Eagles. I don't like them.
I was going to say, I can't believe you cheered them on for that.
But when Connor said, I think I might skip from the rain, I'm like, man, even Connor's getting older.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least I know where to park.
It's daunting. It is daunting.
A lot of people park in our neighborhood. I can just kind of sit on the patio and watch everybody stumble.
Oh, my gosh. Don't let them get in their cars.
I know.
All right. You guys watching the Olympics?
I'm watching a little.
Of course.
I'm bringing you Olympic updates. This is not about the biathlon. This is not about anyone stealing teammates' credit cards or apologizing to their girlfriend live on the air.
Did you use those stories the last couple of days?
I did, yeah.
He's done all of those. I think that's the only reason he's watching.
Well, no. There's more. There's another reason besides that, Heidi.
Oh, he's betting.
He's betting on the
Silly me, Connor. Silly me.
Yeah, we talked about that before you got into the office.
Bob's watching for the speed skater that's married to Logan Paul or whatever. But anyway, here's a fun story. 54-year-old personal injury lawyer and 6-time winner of Minnesota Attorney of the Year
I know where this is going. I love this story.
was an alternate backup substitution on the men's curling team. His name is Rich Ruhonen. He's from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. They were down 8-2, and the game was out of hand, and they called him in. They subbed him in, and he throws one of his rocks down. They call them rocks, right? The curling rocks?
Mm-hmm.
And Stones, thank you. He officially became the oldest person to compete for the United States at the Winter Olympics.
Oh, that's cool.
At age 54. He's on the team. He says that he gets up at 5 in the morning. He leaves his house at 5:15. He goes 30 miles to work out and train. Then he goes to work as a lawyer all day. And then at 6 p.m., he heads to practice again. And he says that hanging out with these young people keeps him young. He's like a mentor to the team. And it was through these young guys that he finally got a chance to go to the Olympics. And again, he said, I wish it was 8-2 that we were up so far. But he really appreciates the guys giving him a chance to get in there and actually compete at the Olympics.
That's such a great story.
6-time winner of Minnesota Attorney of the Year, and now Olympic.
Carney said they reached out to see if
athlete
they could come on.
Oh.
To find him
in the States.
Yeah.
Apparently they're trying to find him.
I bet he will.
Oh.
That's a great
Carney
story.
had this story?
Well,
I mean, we can
it's
share.
the Olympics, It's,
Yeah.
Everybody can
you
watch
weren't breaking anything, It's happening
okay.
live
It's
on
okay.
national TV.
I didn't even come with nice stories.
And then you come with a nice one and it's already been told.
We already did it.
You know what? We can share. It's kind of like I want to share the good that has happened to me at Premier U. I want everybody to partake because I feel so much better. I was actually talking to a friend who is at Premier U who also had knee surgery like I did years ago, ACL. And she's like, that's the one thing that has been so surprising is my knee doesn't hurt as more because when you're taking one of the weight loss medications, the inflammation around your joints also goes down. It's amazing some of the other beneficial side effects. I turned to Premier U because I just got to a certain point where I was so frustrated and doing the things that I thought and that did work when I was younger would work again, and they didn't. I mean, I continued to hit my head up against that brick wall for probably 4 years. And then finally, I threw my hands up. I made my appointment at Premier U, and I'm down 14, 15 pounds. I still want to lose a little bit more weight, but it is a journey the entire time because it isn't just one thing. You don't just take the shot and voila. You're going to have to do some work. You do have to work out. You want to make sure that your heart is still healthy. So you want to get that walk in. You want to lift weights so you make sure that you're not losing muscle mass because ladies, I hate to tell you, that's where we lose some of our weight is you lose muscle. So what Premier U does is they keep track of all of that and they keep you on track. It is really a partnership. And so if you want to learn more, and by the way, if in honor of tomorrow, Valentine's Day, if you want to go with your significant other, they're offering a discount for couples. You can learn more at premiermed.com, premierumed.com, or give them a call, 618-750-LIFE. Coming up, Mike Ward joins us, and instead of wine, we're talking whiskey and a relatively new one we got to tell you about.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
Galmish & Sons have been providing
providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Gilmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110. Brown & Brown Attorneys at Law want to remind you that February is Heart Health Month. Getting hurt on the job or in a car wreck is not for the faint of heart. Call now for a free consultation. 314-333-3333. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Way back in time, if you had a leak in the roof of your hut, I imagine you had to find a tree close by, scale it, and then jump and hope you could get up there and see what was wrong. Then came the advent of the ladder. There was an easier way to get up there and see if something was wrong. And with modern technology, we finally get around to the drone. Now, the folks at Allen Roofing use those instead of trees and ladders. Send a drone up, find out if there's anything wrong with your roof, get some pictures, go over it with you, and see if there's a problem, how bad it is, what they could do, what it'll cost. Or if everything's just fine, they will tell you that too. Boy, it's so nice we don't have to climb trees to look at our hut. Allen Roofing embracing technology and doing quality roof repair, siding, gutters, everything for the outside of your home. Just ask Gronk. He was one of the first customers. It's Allen Roofing. Find them online at aroofing.net.
Oftentimes we talk about make sure you support local, and of course you want to support local, and when you support local and you need windows and doors, you call Larry Thornton and Joe Thornton from the Window Store, 314-739-0002. Why? Well, because they support local and you support local, right? And you're supporting your neighbor to make sure the job is done right. They go the extra mile. In fact, somebody called up Larry Thornton the other day looking for new windows. Larry went out to the house and said, "You don't need new windows. These windows are fine. Thank you very much. Call me back some other time." The other reason why you support Larry Thornton at the Window Store, 314-739-0002, is because local companies support charities, and the Window Store is a proud sponsor of the KTRS Radiothon to support Backstoppers. So a local company that'll do it right with great windows and great doors, and they give back to the community, and big supporters of Backstoppers. You need windows, you need Window Store, wswindow.net.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. When winter hits St. Louis, your furnace doesn't get a day off, and if yours is older, it may be running nonstop and still not keeping you comfortable. Winter has a way of exposing weak links. You're probably paying more and getting less. Or if your home never quite feels warm enough in the winter, your furnace may be telling you something else, especially if it's been around for a while. That's why I want you to call Premier Heating and Cooling. Their technicians go through 5 years of training beyond industry standards. It's Premier standards. Heating your home shouldn't feel like a struggle. Older furnaces work harder and use more energy. If you want lower energy bills and better heat, it's just all around smarter to consider a new furnace. And yes, Premier offers financing, which makes upgrading a whole lot easier. So whether you need a tune-up or you're ready for something new, make your winter a lot more comfortable for your home or your business. Call 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
Mike Ward is back, and today we're talking about one of my favorite bourbons, Jefferson's Bourbon. I'm so excited because they have a fairly new whiskey, one that I haven't tried. Mike Ward, great to see you.
Great to be here. Love to talk about bourbon and whiskey.
What is it that Jefferson's does so well? Because it really is just an absolutely delicious whiskey bourbon.
You know what it impresses me about Jefferson's, and they kind of built their reputation on bourbons, but they have different and innovative ways of storing their barrels.
Like the ocean.
Which,
in case somebody doesn't know, tell us about the Jefferson's Ocean.
Oh, it's a great story. So it's a blend of straight bourbon whiskey. So that means that really the whiskey has qualified to be a bourbon.
Do you ever just call it a bourbon without the bourbon whiskey?
Well, it is a whiskey, and it is also a bourbon, but you can just call it a bourbon.
Okay. Is every bourbon a whiskey?
Yes.
Okay.
But not every whiskey
Is
is
a
a
bourbon.
bourbon.
All right. All right.
And people say Scotch whiskey, and I'm like, well, that sounds redundant.
Yeah.
But that's what it is, right?
It is a whiskey.
Yeah. Scotch whiskey, bourbon whiskey.
And
Canadian whiskey, what's that?
Whiskey has to come from grains.
Mm-hmm.
So your choices would be barley or malted barley. That would be a Scotch or an Irish whiskey, barley, malted barley. Here in this country, corn, wheat, rye. We'll talk about rye in a minute. But you have to have grain. That's, so you can make vodka from anything, potatoes, grapes, whatever you want.
Oh, yeah.
Tequila comes from agave. But whiskey has to come from grains. So, that's a requirement. Where it gets its color and most of its flavor is aging in those oak barrels.
So can anything, I'm stunned, where potatoes, wheat, barley, corn, grapes, what else can we make alcohol from? Can anything be that's organic turn into alcohol at some point?
Got to have sugar. Sugar turns into alcohol, interacts with yeast.
Okay.
Beer, wine, spirits, that's the necessary interaction, science.
Hey, there's a lot of sugar in carrots. Anybody have a...
Yeah, I don't... Carrot?
Carrot?
Yeah, I'm sure somebody has tried
carrot
it.
vodka?
Yeah, I'm sure somebody... That'll be our subject for next Friday.
Yeah.
Man, that doesn't sound good, though.
No, it doesn't.
It'll be orange for
doesn't.
sure.
But back to the ocean.
The ocean. So once it's qualified for a bourbon, so that's the important factor. So aged around 4 to 6 years. And then we take those barrels, put them on the hull or the top of the ship, strap them in right there in the top. We're not putting them in the bottom. They got to be exposed to the elements. And then they go around the world 4 times, passing the equator 4 times. And once they get back, then we, see what that type of environment. So they're heated and they're chilled
and they're
heated,
sloshed around.
So all that movement and all the air kind of, reaching into oxidation, stabilization, all those things that it goes through. And then we bring it back and bottle it, or they bring it back and bottle it. Yeah.
It's very cool. So they have several different offerings.
They have and let me tell you, I'm doing a dinner at Schnucks in De Pere, the beautiful Schnucks De Pere cooking school, on February 27th. I'm doing a Jefferson's dinner there.
So how many different Jefferson's bourbons will we be able to sample?
There's like a dozen of them or something. Yeah, what they're going to do is a couple of cocktails. They're also going to do, full dinner. And that Schnucks is very fortunate because they get a lot of allocated whiskeys. So if you're interested in something that you don't normally see on the shelf, you can get on their website and see if there's some spots available. And then I'm going to be your presenter for that night. So I'd love to see you there.
There is so much to learn about whiskey and bourbon, but let's talk
really
about...
a fascinating subject.
It is, and there's so much history behind it, but this Jefferson's now has a rye. There are a lot of different, bourbons that have added a rye. Tell me about this one, and I guess if it's a rye, is it a bourbon?
It's not a bourbon.
Oh, it's a whiskey.
It's a blend of straight rye whiskeys.
Okay.
So, just very quickly, if it's a bourbon, 51% of the grains have to be corn.
Got it.
The 49% can be wheat, can be rye, can be more corn, or can be barley, but 51% has to be corn. For a rye whiskey, it's the same thing with rye. So 51% has to be rye.
Got it. So you can't have both in there.
Well, you could have some other grains in that 49%. In this case, they don't, but rye has to be the dominant ingredient.
Got it. So why were they just now kind of introducing the rye?
Well, a couple of reasons. They built their reputation on bourbon, of course. Mm-hmm. There's great stories from the owner, Trey Zoller, who says when he started the distillery, bourbon wasn't really fashionable back then, and he's in a table, and here's Pappy Van Winkle next to him, and they can barely sell the bottles. That's not the case anymore.
No, it is not.
They built their reputation on bourbon. Now, remember, bourbon can come from any state, but it has to come from the U.S., and most of our bourbon comes from Kentucky. but they really hadn't gotten into the rye category. But rye, really, its history dates back to early U.S. when we made rye whiskey in the East Coast.
Okay.
So the whiskeys that would have been made in around the Revolutionary War, hard for me to say, would have been rye whiskeys. It wasn't until people started moving to Ohio, Indiana, and then Kentucky that we started to source corn for whiskey.
So to me, I'm not a drinker of this. I'm not a whiskey guy.
Scared me for a minute.
A whiskey is a whiskey is a whiskey. But then you listen to Don McLean, and he says the good old boys are drinking whiskey and rye. He differentiates the two.
And that's kind of an old reference to it, yeah.
And then I was asking you, Mike Ward, I said, can you taste the difference between bourbon and rye? And before it even got out of my mouth, Heidi says, yes.
You can.
100%.
It's a completely different flavor and one that I love, so I cannot wait to try this Jefferson's rye.
If it's the first whiskey that you've ever had and I put a bourbon down and a rye, and first of all, we'd have to work through it because if it was first whiskey that you ever had in your life, you would tell the difference.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And to describe the difference, how do you describe a rye whiskey?
Oh, I love this. And I was in a seminar years ago with a whiskey master, and he told me this, and I've just kept this ever since. And it's so simple. So bourbon, wheated whiskey, and rye whiskey. It's as simple as picture yourself eating a piece of wheat bread, a piece of rye bread, and a piece of cornbread separately. And then how they taste different. And then go to the whiskey, and you can tell it right there in the whiskey.
Really?
You can really
That's a
taste
simple-
the rye.
Oh, yeah. Right. Spicy rye. You know what? Like if you like rye bread, some people don't, but if you like rye bread, that's what you're going to be tasting in this whiskey.
I'm actually really tempted to open these right now.
I mean,
I want to taste them now, and
Yes.
one and
Right.
see what you guys are talking about.
The
'Cause
Jefferson's Ocean actually, I think, has a little salty, like sea salt type of
It is
flavor to it.
absolutely delicious.
But I don't think any seawater made it into that whiskey,
Well,
but it's in the air. Yeah,
has salt
yeah,
in it.
yeah.
But this Jefferson's, we have you on every week, and you tell us all these wonderful stories about the wines and the spirits and the beer
I
that
do
you
like
bring
to talk
in.
about wine.
Because if I'm going to be drinking something, I want it to have a good backstory.
Yeah, has
this
to.
Jefferson's Oceans, the one I'm holding in my hand, Voyage 34.
Yeah.
You can go on the website and it'll click on Voyage 34. It'll tell you where it went, how long it took. It went around Australia. It went by New Zealand, then back up to Japan,
Right.
and then over to the coast.
The boat maps whale migration.
Oh, really?
So it's going to
'Cause
follow wherever
is it
the
a
whales
research
go.
vessel?
It is. It
and
is.
they're like, hey,
Yeah.
you got any extra room to hold some whiskey barrels?
And there is a purpose. I mean, they really are kind of, aging the whiskey. It's not
Yeah.
just as a kind of a
Gimmick.
Thank you, gimmick.
And
Somebody
I think
said.
Scientists won't drink all the whiskey.
Yeah,
They're-
maybe that
they're
is
busy.
it too. Somebody on the text line said Jefferson's Ocean, my go-to. Just picked up Voyage 31 today.
Yeah.
Thanks for another great segment. That's Bill. Somebody said
Thank
my.
you, Bill. And have you ever tried Jefferson's Tropics? We can talk about that.
I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah.
Somebody said my grandfather and I used to drink rock and rye. Is that still around?
That's a great question. I've heard of it, haven't seen it in a long time. It's kind of an older brand. I think it's sweet. It's almost like a whiskey-based liqueur, I think. Maybe the listeners will correct me on that, but rock and rye, I don't know that it's a popular brand still.
Somebody else is saying, ask Mike if Jefferson's is a MPG. Is that the Midwest something grains? Is that what that stands for?
I would say let me look into that so I answer you correctly. Mike at wardonwine.com.
And
I want to come back with the right answer and not give you something that is not correct.
Jefferson's is distilled where?
It's in Kentucky.
It is.
Whiskey, yeah. Yeah, it's a Kentucky whiskey.
All right, so I'm holding the original, Jefferson's Reserve, and it's got a picture of Monticello on it, Thomas Jefferson's house.
Yeah.
Is there what's the relation with Thomas Jefferson, or is there?
Well, it's kind of historical, and it kind of talks about, the expansion of the U.S. West and how Jefferson had a distinct relationship or effect on, expansion west
with the Louisiana Purchase and all that stuff.
To be honest, I know of Thomas Jefferson more as a wine person, a winemaker, and I think he had another job too, but I know he was a winemaker.
I think he was a regular Renaissance man.
He was.
He had his hands in a lot of pots.
He loved Bordeaux, but
Really?
he probably already drank whiskey too, I would think. Yeah.
Somebody else said I've had people tell me the ocean is a gimmick, and I was happy to disagree. The ocean is awesome.
Yeah, you can track it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our friend Susan, Mike Ward is fantastic. I so enjoy when he schools us.
Thank you.
So tell me about the tropical before I let you go.
Jefferson Tropics goes on a destination, but to one place in Singapore, and then it sits there for two years, I think it is, and it sits in that environment. So when I said...
Can we find that here?
Yeah, and I'll have it at the dinner, too.
Okay.
And the Jefferson's Pritchard Hill Cabernet Sauvignon barrel finished whiskey
I've
as well.
never tried that one.
Yeah, that's a great whiskey. So that's what their innovation. So, we're doing the ocean. Well, let's try a tropical environment, and see how that affects our whiskey.
Wow.
They have a whiskey, it was experimental, that was finished in rum barrels. So there's all kinds of things they're going to be doing that are, just kind of, I'm sure they've done some things and we're like, nope, that didn't work. That never gets in a bottle.
But that's what's so fun about whiskey and bourbons. And again, you're hosting a Jefferson's Bourbon dinner at the Schnooks de Pear Cooking School. What day is that?
It's the 27th
of
February. And I got on the website looking for it, and I think it just went out to the Whiskey Club. But if you call there or get on their website and call about the dinner, because I think they have all their wine events and their cooking events on the website, but I think they kind of keep the whiskey dinners separate.
A little bit
put
of
it that way.
Secret that we're sharing right now.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Just go. No, I'm kidding.
And of course, you can always, if you have a question about whiskeys, bourbons, wine, you can always text or call Mike Ward or email him at
Mike@wardonwine.com. That listener that asked about the MPG, let me get it straight exactly what Jefferson's relationship is that. So send me an email and we'll talk about it.
All right, Mike Ward, cheers to you, my friend.
Cheers, everybody.
4:36, let's get another check of traffic with Captain Paul.
Heidi, we still have a big problem on 70 in North County and North City. An accident on 70 west at Bermuda that happened at 1:20 is blocking the two left lanes with traffic jammed back to Berkshire. Emergency vehicles responding to that crash are blocking the two left lanes of 70 east past Florissant Road. That's causing a stop-and-go jam back to Natural Bridge. Elsewhere, there's a crash on 270 north past Gravois. 64 west is congested from Kings Highway to Clayton Skinker, and 64 east bogs down around 170. This traffic report is brought to you by the St. Louis Boat and Fishing Show. It's the premier show for boaters, fishermen, and anybody that loves the outdoors. The St. Louis Boat and Fishing Show at the Americas Center, February 20th through the 22nd. See the boats, pet live stingrays, visit the Cardinal Cowboy, trophy whitetail deer mounts, and more. Visit stlouisboatshows.com for more info. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Don't miss the Rammer Billiken Report every Thursday, just before 5 p.m. during the Heidi Glaus Show. Bob Ramsey will give an in-depth look into the red-hot Billikens each week. Powered by Milton Law Group, Davey Tree Expert Company, Hackett Security, and Connor Roofing on the Big 550 KTRS.
At Tropical World Pets, you're not just getting a pet, you're diving into an extraordinary experience. Located in Webster Groves, they boast St. Louis's largest selection of freshwater fish and aquatic plants, a stunning tank showroom, and the Midwest's most extensive tarantula collection. From crested geckos to bearded dragons, they offer the area's best captive-bred reptiles. Visit them and feel the tropical difference. Tropical World Pets. Explore more by calling 314-849-4020 or at twpstl.com. That's twpstl.com.
Most people think if I name my husband as beneficiary, everything's going to be okay, and that's not necessarily true.
I'm Scott Garcia with Premier Estate and Income Planning.
What am I doing taking care of people after somebody has passed and all the mess that comes with that?
And I'm Jennifer Cermak, Chief Counsel and Estate Planning Attorney of Premier Estate and Income Planning.
No longer is the attorney the gatekeeper to your lives.
Let us show you how to protect your assets, avoid probate, and retire with confidence.
Having an estate plan could be the most important document you could ever have.
The Premier Income and Estate Planning Show. This Saturday at 4 and this Sunday morning at 7 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Jefferson Starship, the Runaway Again Tour. Saturday, September 26th, the Family Arena. Also featuring Atlanta Rhythm Section. Firefall. And Orleans. Reserve seats on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Jefferson Starship, featuring Atlanta Rhythm Section, Firefall, and Orleans.
Our troops overseas will always miss their loved ones throughout the year. Let them know you miss and support our troops by sending a care package. This message is courtesy of Arch City Equipment Services, proudly serving our area with excellence. For more information, call the pros at 314-834-2237. That's 314-834-2237. That's Arch City Equipment Services, reminding everyone to please send a military care package.
With over 30 years of experience in top-quality senior living, McKnight Place Assisted Living knows how to help its residents live fulfilling lives. The professional staff gets to know all residents and their families. McKnight Place Assisted Living has become known for its high-quality amenities, personalized services, and expert care. But its history of making people a priority is what really sets it apart from many other senior communities. That starts with the residents and extends to their loved ones. 314-993-3333 or visit them at mcknightplace.com.
Well, I glanced up looking at a TV a few minutes ago, and it said, breaking news, DNA has been recovered at the crime scene of Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. Don Mahalik, ABC News law enforcement contributor and retired senior Secret Service agent, joins us with the latest. Hey, Don.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. What do you make of now finding DNA evidence there?
Well, the DNA evidence, if it was discovered at the scene, will help the FBI be able to determine who was there after it's processed. Of course, it could be a family member or it could be Miss Guthrie's DNA. Either way, every little bit they find is a little bit more than they had the day before. And I think they're also waiting to find out, because from the Sheriff's Department, the glove that they sent to a lab that apparently was found by the Sheriff's Department in the initial hours of the case inside Miss Guthrie's house. They sent that to a Florida lab, which is being tested now. But once it's done testing, the FBI is supposed to get that too, so they can run it through their own tests and try to match whatever DNA they pull off of it against the DNA databases that exist out there, genealogical and criminal. So, we'll see where it goes, but, everything they find is better. And the backpack, to me, is one of the most crucial pieces of evidence, because they'll be able to work with Walmart now to figure out who bought these backpacks, where they were bought, and then sort of narrow down, based upon the new description they have, the individual that may have purchased this backpack.
And I watched the Richard Ramirez documentary on Netflix a couple years ago, The Night Stalker. They caught him because of the shoes that he bought. They narrowed it down that these shoes, 2 pair, were bought in Southern California. The one guy, it wasn't him, and the other guy, well, it was. So that's amazing how they could really do that. I wonder why there isn't a lab closer than Florida to send this glove. But on the suspect now, they have a height that we're looking for. What other characteristics can they narrow down?
I think they narrowed down the suspect's height, his build, and his gait at this point in time. I don't know if they've gotten much further than that, but that helps narrow the population of people that they're looking for, because they'll know that if somebody, apparently a male between 5'9" and 5'10" with a normal gait with a normal build, that knocks out other people that don't fit that category. So it's, for the FBI, they're building this bit by bit to try to get a full picture and direction to identify and potentially apprehend the suspect.
The Sheriff's Department has requested all video footage from January 1st through February 2nd in connection. What do you make of that?
One of two possibilities. Either they have some information that they want to confirm via looking through the video, or they're getting all the video in order to, because part of this investigation is they have to build the circle around Miss Guthrie for the last couple of weeks, last couple of months, see who was around her. The other angle is they're getting all this video to look through it all and try to determine who was in the neighborhood, who was, where they were, see if there were unusual vehicles, unusual people, which could also help them identify who potentially committed this crime.
Got it.
Do burglars generally show up armed like this, or is that typical of something else?
I guess it depends on the burglar. Every burglar has got their own modus operandi or MO. But the longer this goes, your question is a valid one. Was this really a kidnapping, or was this another nefarious crime that occurred, and the kidnapping was the end effect of a crime? Because that blood trail out in front of Miss Guthrie's house, in the front, she's an 84-year-old woman. If she's bleeding like that, that's not a good sign. So, that's a great question that I think the FBI and the Sheriff's Department is probably considering at this point as well.
Yeah. Don Mahalik, we always appreciate your insight. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Heidi. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
And now, KTRS weather.
Increasing clouds overnight tonight will drop to 40 degrees. For Saturday, look for a widespread but beneficial rainfall to move into the area. It'll be ongoing through much of the day. The high temperature, 52 degrees. Rain will continue to be likely Saturday night as we drop to 43. The rain will end by daybreak Sunday morning. We'll start the day with mostly cloudy skies, but the sun comes out in the afternoon. Sunday's high, 58. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kristen Cornett for the Big 550 KTRS.
Recently, a good friend of mine was changing the light fixture in their kitchen, and they took the light fixture off the ceiling, and they looked inside the ceiling and said, "What is the phone number to Michael Baldy?" If they would have listened to me, they would have put Michael Baldy's phone number in their phone, because everybody needs a good electrician on speed dial. So here you go. The next time you need an electrician, you need to remember Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. So the phone number, 314-968-9999. Indoor, outdoor, an old Victorian home, knob and tube wiring, and anything and everything in between. You see, Michael Baldy is a licensed electrician, and he has a team ready to go. Whether it's something for the ceiling in the kitchen, something for the lights for the holidays, whatever it may be, Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. BaldyElectric.com, 314-968-9999, because everybody needs a good electrician on speed dial. BaldyElectric.com.
It's February, and we all know what happens in February, Valentine's Day. Instead of hitting the expensive spots that limit selections and hike up prices, consider spending the evening or morning in the casual comfort of Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant. Why make Valentine's a nighttime thing? Gingham's is open 24 hours, and everything on our extensive menu is available day or night. With the weather we've had, there's nothing better than a hearty breakfast or a hot bowl of soup, a great homestyle meal, and a piece of pie to top it off. Make it Gingham's this February, and visit us at ginghamsrestaurant.com.
She's a lady. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She's a lady. I'm talking about my little lady. And that lady's all mine. Hi, folks. This is Tony Viviano, and I want to invite you to attend my Valentine's Day dinner dance concert at Fallon's, Ellisville, Missouri, Saturday, February 14th. Enjoy a 4-course exceptional dinner, all timeless love songs, and a long stem rose for every lady. For more information, visit TonyViviano.com.
Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Dan Lang. Join me every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 on the Big 550 for Animal Talk, where I talk about everything regarding dogs, cats, and other domestic animals. Topics include nutrition, training, medical checkups, special guests show up now and then, and of course, I'll answer your questions. So join me every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 for Animal Talk on the Big 550 KTRS, the Animal Talk of St. Louis.
Some of my fondest memories as a kid is heading down to the hardware store. You had to pick up a couple of nails, a couple of screws, maybe a gallon of paint, whatever it may be, right? It was your friendly neighborhood hardware store. Well, those don't exist anymore in St. Louis, except for Schnarr's Hardware. They have 2 locations in Webster Groves and in Clayton Road in Ladue. Schnarr's Hardware is that place where you go in and you can get that bucket of paint, you can get a couple of screws. The advice is always free. And the one thing about Schnarr's Hardware that every single family hardware store used to have, and that is the smell. It smells like a hardware store. It's got the selection. I don't know how they do it. It's a small store, but they got everything you ever need. They got the paint. They got paint matching. They've got big green eggs. They've got screws and nails and everything a hardware store should have. Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations, 1 great hardware store. Schnarr's Hardware, we'll see you there.
11 minutes before 5 o'clock, Captain Paul, how's traffic moving along?
Well, Heidi, we still have that big problem on 70 in North City and County. An accident on 70 West at Bermuda that happened at 1:20 is still blocking the 2 left lanes with traffic jammed back to Berkshire. Emergency vehicles responding to that crash are blocking the 2 left lanes of 70 East past Florissant Road. That's causing a stop-and-go jam back to Natural Bridge. Elsewhere, we have an accident on 64 East at Lindbergh. 64 West is congested from Kings Highway to McCausland, and 64 East bogs down from McKnight to Big Bend. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House in Cottleville. The Rack House has made Whiskey Advocate magazine's top whiskey bars in the country list for the 3rd time. The Rack House in Cottleville averages over 300 whiskey, bourbon, and scotch selections on its menu. The Rack House, featuring upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Yesterday, we started a new Thursday segment, the Rammer-Billiken Report. Hackett Security is one of the sponsors, and we thought we'd ask Mike Hackett, President and CEO, about Ring and Nest cameras in the wake of the Nancy Guthrie story. So thanks for coming in and making time for us.
Well, Heidi, thank you so much for having me, and Josh, nice to see you also.
I got to tell you, I am blown away that you actually started the company, because you had to have started this company when you were like 20.
I wish I felt like I was 20 again. That would be the greatest.
But you guys have been around since what, 1977?
Yeah, the original company was in 1977. I've been there since 1993.
Wow, that's pretty remarkable.
For a homegrown company.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were telling us a story off the air about how you guys started. You bought a house. It had a home security system. You wanted to change the passcode, and 5 different security companies were giving you the runaround and wanted you to charge you $800. And I guess you said, you know, what's the infomercial phrase? There's got to be a better way.
That was exactly it. It was all built, you know, I wanted service, obviously. I wanted something simple, like most people do, so that you can use it all the time, because that's what they're meant to be there for. You need to use the systems. So from that point on, decided that we would get into the business. The business has grown considerably.
I mean, you're in every state.
Yeah, 49.
What are you waiting on with that other one?
It's a little bit of a jump. You know, I can't drive there quite that well. We can't send a truck out
Hawaii?
there. Yes, Hawaii. Well, we want to go there.
But you're in Alaska.
Yeah,
that's hard to get to.
So, Mike, has this story led to a lot of phone calls at Hackett Security?
You know, our business has been, we're quite blessed. I got to tell you, we get lots of phone calls all the time. What really has been the driver for our business has been technology. And so the ease of technology, both on the corporate level and in the residential level, it's getting easier and easier to use. The quality of the cameras are getting better, and better. And you can go ahead and see that you're getting 4K quality.
That's
crazy. That used to cost, you know, extreme amount of money. We have cameras that at one time, there were 10 megapixel that would watch the little tiles come off of the Challenger. They were $30,000 a piece.
Whoa.
Those cameras now are about $600. So
Oh, wow.
Everything's kind of gone down.
And it's one of these things you watch camera footage. You can still see footage from a gas station robbery. And you can barely make out what any of the people even look like. Where on the phone I have in my pocket, they're filming Hollywood movies on them.
Exactly. So it's one of those things that when you're thinking about video, what you've got to do is get a quality camera. They can see it in very dark, low-level light and give you great resolution. The other thing is you got to maintain these things. What you don't want to have is have an event and all of a sudden go, oh, things aren't working. I'm sorry, or those cameras are not working.
Yeah.
So, you want to do things like health monitoring, which is what we do. We know when some of the cameras go out where we alert our customers and say, hey, you're not recording. Oh, what happened? Did you change your Wi-Fi? Have you brought in a new provider? Those types of things.
Yeah, there's a lot to know, and I think more and more people are adding them. I feel lucky we do have a Ring camera. I know others right now are worried about Big Brother. What do you say to those folks?
Well, if you think about what Ring, Nest, or any of these cloud-based companies do, what happens is the images, what they call pre-alarm, they're always recording, and they're sending them up to what you want to think about, like just a little bus stop. That bus stop then goes to the big data where it's being stored. Residual data, you've heard that term. Everybody hears that now, what's going on. That residual data is what is sometimes out there. Should it be something somebody's concerned about all the time? The answer is no.
Yeah.
But when an event takes place, and obviously a high-profile event, a warrant, subpoenas are issued, those images are
found. They're mysteriously found again.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to what you guys offer, is like Ring and Nest, like children's toys compared to what you guys do?
In some cases. What we're doing is we're heavily into the analytics because we run a UL-listed central station. That means we have operators that are actually taking highly filtered video. So we know when events take place. So we can go ahead and see, did somebody walk into that area? Our cameras know the difference between a person, an animal, and a vehicle.
Wow.
And is this for residential? Is this for your business?
It does both. So the residential component is that particular piece, but the analytics allow, and we're really kind of hardware agnostic. It doesn't matter who's put your cameras in before. We don't come in and say, gosh, we've got to sell you all new ones. What we're doing is we're taking a stream off of that video. We run it through our analytics box. It then determines what we want to do.
When you talk to customers, I mean, there is just a level of feeling safe just because that camera is a deterrent.
The cameras are a deterrent. The cameras don't sleep. The analytics, though, is the next piece that you're really going to get very excited about because that's what drives us every day. Our analytics, we have the ability to detect a gun. When a gun is in someone's hand, we do gun detection. So you think about the events that have taken place over the past years, and I think about what happened up in Minnesota and where someone was walking around with a long gun or they were walking around with a handgun. We get an alarm off of that. That gives us what we call...
You do. I'm sleeping in my bed, but you get the alarm, and then what happens?
Well, we get the alarm and we verify. So we have a person in the middle, which is our UL Central Station. We verify that, yes, a gun has been detected.
Outside of my house.
Outside of your house. And what we've gone ahead then is we've dispatched the police already. The police are on their way. What we're doing is giving you early response to that event, and that will hopefully mitigate any problems.
Holy cow. That's amazing. So, I mean, I immediately think of schools. How helpful would this be
at a school?
At schools?
That's occupying a lot of our time right now. And it allows us to, most schools have already done things like harden the facility. They have resource officers. So when you think about where you've got a resource officer and we're getting that early warning to them, they're detecting that and they can react very quickly.
I don't want to play this story up because it is a tragedy what's going on with the Guthrie family right now. But if that house had your stuff in it, when somebody comes up, the guy's got a gun, He's got a holster on. He's trying to cover up the cameras. Does your analytics, as you say, what's going off at your home office?
Well, at our home office, we're when someone's walking up to the house at 2 in the morning.
Already, number one.
Number one. And it's really what the camera sees it. And then what we've done is as they cross that boundary, we know that that's a person, not an animal or a vehicle, or it could be both.
Right.
So those would have tripped earlier. Those people would have gotten a notification and a phone call from us to verify, wake up, Josh, that you've got something's going on here.
That is just remarkable. Well, we really appreciate you coming in. If you have a question for Hackett Security, you can always call 314-432-4200. You can also check them out online at HackettSecurity.com. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
You too, and enjoy the warm weather.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Looking for a new kitchen or bath? Call me, Anne-Marie Boges, the co-host of the Inside Out Show and owner and designer at Anne-Marie Design Studio. Visit our website at annemariestudio.com. We can help make your dream space into a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. We do it all, from design to bid to installation too. Call us today at 636-821-3395 or go online at annemariestudio.com. Let's make your dream kitchen or bath a reality with Anne-Marie Design Studio.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back. File in the Credit Karma app.
News, weather, traffic, sports, and live local talk. This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis, Ladue, Glen Carbon, University City, Edwardsville, Manchester, Wood River, Grafton, Collinsville, Pacific, and the world.
Streaming live at KTRS.com.
Depend on it.
From ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. Congress is out on recess, having not come to an agreement on how to fund the Department of Homeland Security. That means a partial government shutdown is set to take effect at midnight tonight. Most of the department's 272,000 employees, including TSA agents, FEMA, and the Coast Guard, are expected to continue working without pay. Senate Democrats voted to block a funding bill earlier this week and said it didn't address their demands for reforms at Immigration and Customs Enforcement. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says he's open to meeting with administration officials.
We haven't called for a direct meeting at this point, but again, we're ready to sit down with anyone, anytime, any place, if they are serious about the types of dramatic reforms that are necessary to get ICE under control.
ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers has where the president now stands.
President Trump indicated he will get involved in negotiations over funding for the Department of Homeland Security, but he wouldn't say specifically where he sees room for compromise. Instead, the president touted his support for law enforcement.
We always have to protect our law enforcement. It's very important. They've done a great job.
Earlier Friday, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said the White House has been engaged in negotiations with Democrats over immigration enforcement, including sending counter-proposals and legislative text to Capitol Hill. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
The USS Gerald Ford will be headed for the Middle East in the coming days, part of an effort from the Trump administration to put pressure on Iran to cut a deal on their nuclear program. The Ford will be the second American aircraft carrier deployed to the region. In Minneapolis today,
for more than 30 years, I've been a journalist, and the power and protection of the First Amendment has been the underpinning of my work. The First Amendment, the freedom of the press, the bedrock of our democracy.
Don Lemon, the former CNN host turned independent journalist, pled not guilty to a federal civil rights charge following a protest at a Minnesota church where an immigration and customs enforcement official is a pastor. You're listening to ABC News.
This is KTRS News. I'm Sobe Bay. The criminal case against Courtney Merritt, husband of former U.S. Representative Cori Bush, appears to have come to an end. 46-year-old Merritt was charged in March last year with 2 felony counts of mail fraud for allegedly obtaining about $29,000 from 2 Small Business Administration programs meant for COVID relief. After a 9-day trial and 3 days of deliberation last month, a jury could not reach a unanimous verdict, and federal prosecutors are now dismissing the case. The case came out of a 2024 investigation into Bush's spending of campaign funds. No charges were filed against Bush. Bush is trying to regain her congressional seat and will face off against Wesley Bell in the Democratic primary in August. Missouri has formed a new partnership with the Trump administration aimed at improving the state's foster care system. Governor Mike Kehoe signed an agreement with the U.S. Department of Health and Senior Services for an initiative called A Home for Every Child. The goal is to provide safe homes to children across the state. Missouri is the second state in the country to adopt the Home for Every Child initiative, with Oklahoma being the first. Meantime, a federal judge is temporarily blocking the Trump administration from cutting more than $600 million in public health grants for Illinois and several other Democratic-led states. The judge issued the temporary restraining order yesterday, a day after Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul joined attorneys generals from California, Colorado, and Minnesota to sue the White House. The judge said the cuts were based on arbitrary, capricious, and unconstitutional reasons. A bill to permanently ban puberty blockers and hormone blockers for minors in Missouri is advancing. KTRS's Jill Enders has the story.
A bill that would permanently bar doctors from prescribing puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones to minors is now before the Missouri Senate. The measure was passed by the Missouri House yesterday with a vote of 102 to 40. Now, the bill wouldn't change the state's ban on gender-affirming surgeries for those under 18, which was enacted without a sunset in 2023. It would only impact access to cross-sex hormones and puberty blockers. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
Following celebrations of Abraham Lincoln's birthday this week and President's Day on Monday, the Illinois America 250 Commission is set to launch a limited edition tourism passport to help you explore history in the land of Lincoln. Details from KTRS's Steve Potter.
The Passport to Illinois celebrates the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. And no matter which side of the Mississippi River you live on, you can use it as a guide to learn and or visit and explore 56 historic sites, museums, and monuments across the state, and discover the part that they played in both the history of Illinois and of the United States. Beginning in March, the Passport to Illinois will be available at no cost at public libraries and visitor centers. A digital version of the Passport to Illinois can be downloaded online at the Illinois America 250 website. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
In this KTRS Business Minute now brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll wants to help you show your loved one you care this Valentine's Day with hand-delivered flowers. Send a sweet surprise with one of their head-turning arrangements or gift sets. They have wonderful selections ready to say I love you this Valentine's Day and every day. Trust Walter Knoll Florist to deliver your Valentine's Day gift. Go to WKF.com. The Missouri Public Service Commission approved a plan to build a new natural gas plant and battery storage facility in Jefferson County on the site of the retired Rush Island coal plant. It allows for the construction of a simple cycle combustion turbine generator and battery energy storage system, together to form the Big Hollow Energy Center. The plant is expected to begin serving customers in 2028. And now this look at the markets is brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings 9 to 11. Wall Street at the close today, Dow Jones up 49 points to close at 49,500. NASDAQ dropped 50 points to close at 22,546. S&P 500 up 3 points to finish at 6,836. Now let's check sports and traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky.
Sobey Mizzou basketball gets set for another key showdown, this time with Texas tomorrow night in Columbia. Get an in-depth preview as Brendan Wiese talks with Tigers leading scorer Mark Mitchell tonight on the Big Sports Show. Game day coverage starts at 7 p.m. on Saturday night. And number 18 SLU basketball plays at Loyola Chicago tonight. The Billikens will try to extend the nation's second longest winning streak to 18 games. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. After more than 3.5 hours, an accident on 70 West at Bermuda has been cleared, but the residual slowdown extends back to Berkshire. There's an accident on 270 North at Dorset, blocking the 3 right lanes with traffic jammed back to Page. And we have an accident on 64 East at Lindbergh with a short backup to Spady. This traffic report is brought to you by the Opera Theater of St. Louis. Get your season tickets now to the Opera Theater of St. Louis. Enjoy the productions of Romeo and Juliet, A Streetcar Named Desire, and others. Visit them online at opera-stl.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. KTRS weather tonight, cloudy, overnight low of 40. Tomorrow, rain likely, high of 52. Sunday, partly cloudy, high of 59. And next week, spring-like temperatures with a high Monday of 65, Tuesday 66, and Wednesday 72. Right now we have 62 degrees at 5:08. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Guess a walking bird dog. If you don't know how to do it, I'll show you how to walk bird dog.
I don't know if you realize this or not, but February is Responsible Pet Owner Month. Steve Kaufman has spent more than 3 decades working in and alongside animal shelters and nonprofits, and he joins us with a few things to remember. It is so great to finally meet the legend, because you were at the APA running it for how many years?
I was there for 11 years.
Wow. And then have worked all over the world. I mean, let's just start with the benefits of pets. They really do bring more than joy, even.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we've really got a lot of science coming out behind it, too, as far as lowering blood pressure and lowering stress, and just the amount of intuitiveness those pets have with their owners really gets them out of bed and gets them motivated. It's great for weight loss, relationships as we move into this weekend. So we have so much we can do interacting with pets that we're not doing yet.
We were talking a little bit about tomorrow being Valentine's Day, and a pet can kind of determine if you're with the right person.
Oh, absolutely. You know, cat owners or dog owners, you know, when you're going out on that date, you want them to meet.
Yeah.
Right away, because that's going to help determine that relationship.
Have you ever heard a story? I mean, you know, there's it's the cat or it's me. But has any relationship really ended over a pet?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely, yes. And there's some of the worst divorce cases, too, and breakups. I mean, these are more than property and cars. I mean, the arguments over who gets the pet is some pretty serious arguments that are going on.
Yeah, I bet.
Absolutely.
And I guess if you are single, if you don't have a pet, you could borrow a pet, because if you're out walking a dog, I mean, people just stop you. In our neighborhood, more people know the dog's names than you do the neighbor.
Absolutely. That was one of my practices. I forget and meet a lot of people, but if you remember the dog name, they like you.
Yeah, that's so true.
Frank Cusimano brought Reggie in today. He brings him in almost every Friday, and Frank was talking to me about who knows what, but I was playing with Reggie. So.
Reggie's pretty cute.
He's so cute.
Yeah. What do we need to think about before we bring a cat or a dog into our house?
Well, you know, there's a lot of factors in bringing a pet home and making sure, first, it's safe in the house, and making sure you've got everything put away that they could swallow or chew up, anything valuable of yours, of course. You know, if you bring a young pet home, they're still teething. They're still, you know, you gotta imagine that they're teenagers for 2 years, you know, before they're really growing up. So you get a puppy and you think it's going to last 6 months as a puppy. No, that's a full 2 years that you really have to be prepared for a lot of activity. You know, they want a lot of attention. They want to be with you. They're pack animals. And the same with cats. They're going to, you know, come right on your lap. But you want to be able to be sure that you've got the time to take care of them, that you've got the capability to get them out, to give them the interaction that they need. They're not really props. And we saw that a lot, you know, in a few decades ago as the internet was taking off, and social media and different celebrities were having different pets. It became a fad. And they were props. They were in purses, and little dogs really exploded. So, you know, you want to be prepared and make sure this is a sentient being. This is a life you're taking into your house.
Yeah. How often should you be walking a dog? And is it okay just to open the door and let them run around outside? Or they really need to be walked on a regular basis?
Yeah, you know, doing both is okay. Letting them outside to go to the bathroom is fine, but using that as the exercise is sometimes inappropriate, because they get very bored very quickly. And so when you see your yard start to be filled with holes, or it starts to have tracks on each side of the fence because they're just pacing the fence line, you know that dog's not really getting exercise. It's just bored. So that walk is not only the exercise for the dog, it's the exercise for you, and it's also a bonding exercise. You know, you've got to think of both ends of the leash when you're walking that dog, and you're paying attention. And what you brought up earlier, you're meeting neighbors and you're meeting people and you're interacting. And it gives them a chance to meet other pets as well. And they'll remember. So when you go out walking again, they're going to remember that other pet. They're going to recognize it right away. And you might actually form a bond there. I think they're a great social lubricant. I think they're really good at bringing neighborhoods together.
So true.
I've never owned a dog. I've dog sat. I've got a cat. I'm a huge pet person, but I've never owned a dog.
Okay.
I have no idea what the dog park is like. Do dogs really like to go and meet other dogs? And is it really like recess for them?
They do. They're pack animals. I've used to go to a dog park a lot when I lived in a different state, and first got one of the dogs that I have. He loved it. He would go out there and get all the other dogs to chase him, and it's a very social atmosphere for them. You need to be a little cautious as well. It comes down again back to the owner and responsible owners bringing responsible pets to the dog park as well.
We have a Havanese, and she's a very small Havanese, only 8 pounds. She loves big dogs, but not small dogs, which is very interesting to me. Because I'm always a little bit nervous, with her being that. So they all have such a personality. The other thing that I read, and I did not realize it was a thing, tomorrow is National Pet Theft Awareness Day. Is this a prevalent crime?
It is, and especially as purebreds continue to get more popular and they're inventing new breeds, these dogs are thousands and thousands of dollars. And so back to your point about just letting them outside and letting them run around, if you just have a 4-foot chain link fence, it takes nothing to lean over and pick up a dog. French Bulldogs are very popular right now.
Yes.
Not very heavy. It's pretty easy to just lean over and grab that dog, and they bring a high price. So if there's unscrupulous people out there looking for things to steal and make money on, a pet's a pretty easy flip.
You mentioned it. These are lives that you're bringing into your house, and it's going to be there for 10, 15, 20 years, depending on the breed and depending if it's a cat or a dog. Small dogs live longer than big dogs. But you don't want to just, Heidi mentioned earlier, older adults that live by themselves, great companion is a dog. But don't just give mom or dad a dog
good point.
without talking to them ahead of time. During the pandemic, everybody wanted to get a dog because they were home all the time. Well, guess what? We're back to work. And now that dog's 3-4 years old, and they're still here. So what has to go into getting a dog? It can't just be Heidi's wife going to the fundraiser and bidding on that dog, which she's happy now, but this worked out.
Right. And it is amazing. It's interesting. There is a lot of science that is more and more coming out about that. And pets as gifts have always been looked upon as something that, oh my gosh, you shouldn't. You should make sure everyone in the family knows and all the knowledge behind it. But really, you do bond with pets very, very quickly. And there are a lot of people that they get their cat because it came up to them outside. They get their dog because it either was a stray or they found it. And so, yes, there is a lot of pre-work you have to do with your family to make sure. And it is best for everyone to know. But all the studies have shown that some of those pets that are given as gifts don't have any higher of a return rate to shelters.
Really?
Even yeah. No, they absolutely. That it is amazing how fast the humans and animals bond together. Minutes, hours, days, and you'll be spending thousands of dollars 2 days later.
So very true. I mean, did you love animals from a very young age, or is this something that developed?
Yeah, it was very interesting for me. I have kind of an odd story that I didn't grow up wanting to be a veterinarian or thinking I was going to go this direction. It was really, I was in college. I lived near the shelter, got my first dog at 19 years old, started working at the shelter. That was 1990. I've never stopped.
Really?
What I've done ever since then, yeah.
That is, and where is the shelters these days? I feel like we're always talking about they're overflowing. Is that still the case right now?
It is, unfortunately, and I would encourage anyone listening to go out and visit the shelter. Valentine's Day, take a date, go walk a dog, go play with the cats. It's a great date, a day for a date. We've got some wonderful shelters here. We've got, 3 major shelters as well as our government municipalities. But they're all full. Right now, economy's kind of tight, and you're looking at people struggling to pay bills, and pets are expensive, and veterinary care has gone up considerably. So we're seeing pets go in. I sort of look at the animal shelter almost as that canary in the coal mine, where it's when someone's giving up their pet, that's something they very, very much love and have made a very tough decision to give up their pet. So if it's gotten to that point, things are bad. Things are bad in that household, and there's probably other things going on that need attention.
Yeah. I know that we have World Spay Day coming up later this month. I mean, what do people need to know? I mean, is that a must?
Yeah, I think so. I think that, in our society today, the amount of pets that are out there, at least in the United States, I should say, and the amount of free-roaming pets, you just don't want to continue to contribute to unwanted litters. I understand breeding, and I understand breeders and people that want purebred dogs, and have no problem with that at all. I just think that those are planned litters with planned parents that are going to come after there. But those unplanned litters of mixed breeds, we have enough right now. There's no reason that a pet shouldn't be spayed or neutered. And there are so many health benefits to getting them spayed or neutered. The cancer risks and especially in the females and ovarian cancer that can develop later. So a lot of science out there that says that is a very beneficial to do.
I didn't realize that.
You had mentioned that you've been all over the world dealing with pets, dogs and cats and everything. And the first question is, do dogs have different accents when they bark? But the real thing that pops up is, are pet owners different in other countries? Or are we all generally the same with our animals?
Well, I think the love and the bond is the same, but I think the social aspect is different. And so it's really interesting, even going from Italy to Germany or Germany to the UK. They have different philosophies of pet ownership, but is a very responsible. What I saw in Europe is a lot of responsible ownership that was a little different than in the U.S. And so the shelters weren't nearly as full, and the idea of giving up your pet wasn't as quick here. People are really quick to give up. We have kind of a throwaway society, unfortunately, and pets are seen as a commodity more than a companion sometimes. And so, that's unfortunate. But in a lot of the places I visited in Europe, everywhere you went, they brought their pets. Restaurants, hotels, shopping centers, everywhere.
And they let them come.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Are they more well-behaved than most of our pets?
Yeah, it was interesting because it was the clothes stores that I really thought that was interesting. Like nobody's hiking their leg or tearing clothes off the rack or something. And I thought if that were to occur often enough, they would not allow pets to come in. And so even though I was only there a week or two in one spot and another week in another, it was still really easy to see that they didn't change the rules. They knew people were responsible with their pets, and they let them continue to bring them in everywhere.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Speaking of, is it like, in your opinion, should everybody's dog be trained? Or can the common person, because I don't think in the beginning, Marcia did most of that work, and we did have Georgie trained. I don't know that I could train a dog. Is it super beneficial to have somebody train your dog?
Yeah, I think there's levels of training. So for me, I think the requirement that I like to see is manners. Just basic manners, not jumping up on people, not door dashing, things like that. An easy sit and stay. When I used to run shelters, sit was the one thing we wanted every dog to know, because every person that walks down that row looks in the window and goes, "Oh, can you sit?" And if that dog actually sits, the chances of it getting adoption.
That dog's getting adopted.
That is
that dog
so
is getting
smart.
adopted, right? So, the basic manners, basic things like that. Your dog doesn't need to know agility, right?
Right.
Now, if you want to do that, that's more bonding, and that's closer you are with your pet. And that's wonderful, and I highly encourage that. But basic manners, absolutely. We don't have enough of it.
Well, Steve, this has been such a fun conversation, and we could talk pets all day long. We'll have to have you back. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, and love on those pets tomorrow.
Absolutely. Everyone else out there, too.
Attention KTRS listeners, Appliance Discounters has a deal for you. Shop now and receive an instant 5% rebate off your next appliance purchase. 5% instant savings off their already low prices. And you can receive other factory rebates, some up to $1,500 direct from the manufacturer. Huge savings, locally owned, next day delivery, 18 months interest-free financing. Appliance Discounters with 6 area locations or online at theappliancediscounters.com.
Since 1974, Permajack of St. Louis has been helping residential and commercial owners protect their biggest investment. From successfully solving foundation structural problems to making sure basements remain dry, Permajack has performed tens of thousands of projects on both sides of the river, utilizing state-of-the-art technology, techniques, and equipment. Permajack of St. Louis has done it with honesty and integrity, never recommending anything outside of what you really need. For many repairs, Permajack provides a transferable life of structure warranty, all while Permajack of St. Louis has earned a BBB A+ rating and accreditation. For foundation settlement, bowed or buckling walls, cracks in your foundation, walls or bricks, or basement waterproofing, choose the hometown family-owned team at Permajack of St. Louis. Schedule your free inspection and estimate at permajackofstlewis.com. That's permajackofstlewis.com. Permajack, solid as rock.
Hi, St. Louis. Need a reliable roofer? Look no further than Connor Roofing, your local, family-owned roofing company, proudly serving our community since 1993. Born right here in St. Louis, we're committed to providing top-notch service and quality you can trust. Call us today at 314-375-7475 or visit us online at connorroofing.com. That's CONNER roofing.com. Remember, you can count on Connor.
At Maryville University, we power dreams, not just degrees. For nearly 150 years, we've empowered graduates to build successful careers. At Maryville, expect a rigorous, technology-driven, mentor-inspired education in a diverse and inclusive learning environment. We help you take it to the next level, no matter what field you choose. Now is the time to turn your ambition into action and transform your dream into reality. Start your journey at maryville.edu.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
You've had all these great ideas about what to do with your outside space. Now's the time to take the next step and call Outdoor Living, because Pat Leahy and the gang at Outdoor Living have built a showroom, which is a great resource for you. You can go in and see all the products they have, the composite decking, the metal framing. You see, at Outdoor Living, what they pride themselves on is building it right the first time and never having to worry about it again. So they build it. You can enjoy it for the rest of your life. Outdoor Living, their showroom on Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood, is a great resource for you. You can go and see all the different ways and all the different things they can do. Then they'll come out, they'll do a site visit, and in just a few short weeks, you will have the dream deck, fence, gazebo, pergola, whatever it may be. Outdoor Living, right there in Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. 314-966-3325 or OutdoorLivingInc.com. Check out the showroom and take that next step. You'll love it. Outdoor Living or OutdoorLivingInc.com.
Frank Cusimano and Jewel Farmer, weekdays 10 to noon, right here on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
This safety message is reminding all drivers to use the 3 C's: caution, courtesy, and common sense. It could save a life and a lifetime of regret. This message courtesy of Accurate Mechanical Contractors in St. Louis, serving the area with reliability and excellence. For more info, call 314-291-4336. That's 314-291-4336. Accurate Mechanical Contractors is reminding everyone to please drive safely.
And now, KTRS weather.
Increasing clouds overnight tonight will drop to 40 degrees. For Saturday, look for a widespread but beneficial rainfall to move into the area. It'll be ongoing through much of the day. The high temperature, 52 degrees. Rain will continue to be likely Saturday night as we drop to 43. The rain will end by daybreak Sunday morning. We'll start the day with mostly cloudy skies, but the sun comes out in the afternoon. Sunday's high, 58. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kristen Cornett for the Big 550 KTRS.
Okay, you guys, I met so many fun people at Altair the other night. And what was really great is there were like 8 of the people that went to Costa Rica back to learn more about Iceland. I mean, this is going to be a fantastic trip. And I will admit, at first, I didn't know a lot about Iceland. I'm like, Then I started asking around. Everybody that has been there said it is a must see. It's like being on the moon. Everything is so different. The glaciers and the black volcanic sand beach and just the mineral-rich water of the Blue Lagoon. So it might be cold, but that water's going to be warm. And the best part, we are going to go in search of the northern lights, the magical northern lights, every single night. So Colette is in charge, and they will find a perfect place where we can hopefully see the northern lights, and we can see them every single night, or maybe you want to sit back at the hotel and have a glass of wine, you can stay there. But it is going to be a fantastic trip, and Colette handles all the deets, from the flights to the hotels, the meals, all of those local experiences and tours. Your only job to join me and have the time of your life. So you can learn more about this at ktrs.com, or you can call Altair Travel at 314-968-9600. 528. Let's check back in with Captain Paul. How's traffic?
Heidi 70 East is closed between Route TW in Forestell and Pierce in Wentzville due to an accident. Traffic is jammed back to the St. Charles-Warren County line. In Illinois, 255 South is bumper to bumper from 70 all the way down to 64. 64 West is congested from US 50 in O'Fallon, Illinois to near 159. 64 West congested from Kings Highway to Clayton Skinker, and 64 East bogs down from McKnight to Big Bend. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. Dents Express, STL.com. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Going over to my sister's house, and she's got one of these polywood decks out in Newtown. There's a lot of houses out in Newtown that have polywood. And when it gets wet and it rains, it gets so slippery. And then I've noticed it's like peeling off. Like there's a